Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Joshi. My name is Matt Turner, and folks, I'm joined by a gentleman that I think is pretty nifty. And I know this week he's here to talk about Sayaka Kurora and her 450 one-handy header. Andy Header, how are we doing on what will probably be the longest episode of Talk Joshi today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I've off all week. I'm a week of vacation. I get 4 vacation weeks a year, so I'm using one the week after my birthday because that's all I could get for the month of April. So I'm enjoying it, just doing nothing, not going anywhere special, doing stuff around the house. I was able to watch all this wrestling, and I'm ready to talk about it all right here today.
Speaking of your birthday, yes, because there is a lot to talk about on Talk
Hmm.
Joshi. Like pretty much every big Joshi company, we're going to be touching upon in this
Yep.
fantastic episode we're going to have. But I literally have on my notes, my number one note, Andy Header, tell us about your birthday, buddy. That's the most important thing. How was your birthday? Your birthday, I believe, was Friday,
Last,
correct?
yes, yes. So it was last Friday. Unfortunately, I did because I couldn't get the week off. I did have to work Monday through Friday. So I had to work. I didn't get done till like 3:34. I was like, I'm done. I'm going home. It's my birthday. I'm not working any more than I have to. Not on my birthday. So I went home. Got changed and stuff. I think we might have watched something real quick, but then we went out to eat at a little place, Port Clinton. It's a Port Clinton hotel. It's like a real old hotel from like the late 1800s, I think it was really built, and they turned it over into like a restaurant and bar, diner type thing. And I had a giant hamburger. There wasn't just any hamburger. I seen it on the menu on the way down. It was a peanut butter and jelly hamburger. So what that was is, and they make peanut butter and jelly wings. It must be the gimmick there. I've never been to this place. I've lived near this place. It's 20 minutes away. I've lived there my whole life. Never went there. We did went there. It was very good. And the hamburger had like peanut butter on the bun, and like imagine a jelly sauce, a wing sauce with jelly in it. That was on the burger itself with cheese and bacon, which I was like, I don't know about all this, and a tomato, and it was like this big. I'll post a picture of it. It was huge. It was really good. I thought it was great with peanut butter and jelly, and then the waitress threw me off. I was like, I'll take that peanut butter and jelly hamburger. She's like, all right, how do you want that done? And then she's like, what do you want, jelly or grape? I'm like, or grape or strawberry? I was like, oh, there's a choice. I was like, how about it? Where am I at here? So I picked the strawberry because I like strawberry jelly a little bit more. So yeah, I had that and it was really good. Kelly had a Jack Daniels burger, and then we also had Coney Island tater tots that were tater tots that were cooked with like Coney Island sauce and onions and mustard and like that that if you ever had Coney burgers like chili meat kind of sauce that was on it. They were really good too. So that's all we really did for my birthday because I did have to work, so we couldn't really go too far. So we did that, but it was a nice, enjoyable day. So I didn't have to do anything that was outside of work, and have to do anything that I didn't want to do. So it was very fun.
There you go, buddy. Well, that
Hmm.
sounds good. And the burger and everything was good.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
So you had peanut butter, so you have your protein, you have your
Hmm.
burger, which is your creatine. So there you go, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was like the burger itself was very thick. Like I ate the burger and then a little bit of appetizer, and they gave a little bag of chips with it. I'm like, I am stuffed. I will not be eating anything else today.
Yeah, especially those bag of chips at the end of your day. You'd be asleep on the car ride home, buddy.
Yeah, I was like,
Asleep
oh,
on the car ride home. Yeah.
let me unbutton my pants for this ride home.
like home like Homer Simpson. Well, brother,
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a really good birthday. I'm glad that you had this week off work because yes, there is
Hmm.
a lot of stuff to go over. Like I said, Talk Joshi, we are covering everything. Sometimes it's like 75% Tokyo Joshi Pro. There's some weeks where it's been nothing but Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Yep. It's nothing but Sendai.
Sometimes, yeah, a lot of Sendai Girls. Obviously, the first topic before show and tell, because I think we're going to start making show and tell for our YouTube viewers
There we
a
go.
part of our weekly YouTube, our basically a segment here. I know you did purchase a certain video game, Andy Header. So
Yes.
yeah, you want to? Yeah, is it in that room? You want to go and grab
Yes.
it?
I have it. It's right next to me right
Oh,
now.
okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a quick rundown. So the
Okay.
main event of this episode is we are going to preview and predict our the review for Tokyo Joshi Pro Yes Wonderland, which is going to
Hmm.
be Monday, and the very next day, Marvelous has their 10th anniversary show. So that's how we're going to end it. We're going to touch upon so much. Obviously, once we get done with show and tell, which is coming up soon, folks, real soon, we're going to talk about All Star Grand Queendom. Obviously, myself and Rob, also known as the Gerpster, we did our live review of that
Over 3 hours.
show, 3.5 hours. So, the majority of our talk, if you want to listen to that in full form, you can head on over to the Stardom cast over on the World of Joshi Podcast
Hmm.
Network. and listen to that full review. Obviously, I just want to get Andy Hedder's tidbits, and so does a lot of our listeners. We're asking, hey, what did Andy think about it? So this is gonna be the forum here. We're going to talk about the marvelous show from Cork and Hall, Utami leaving Marigold, Kairi Sane, now a free agent. From what we understand, she is in
Mhm.
Japan. We're going to be reviewing the last two Sendai Girls shows that are up on Wrestle Universe, as well as the Tokyo Joshi Pro show. So there is a
Mhm.
lot to talk about. I still have a lot in the news. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Rain Leverkusen, Lizzie Rain now, I believe she goes
Mhm.
by. Her debut in NXT, I didn't see it, but I did see her interview where she shouted out Mako Satomoro. And how timing is that? Because it was a year ago today, Mako Satomoro wrestled her final match.
Wow.
So
How about
how
that?
about that? And real
Mhm.
quick, Andy Header, I was doing some homework for a Patreon episode that'll be dropping on your feed for our Patreon members this weekend, which will be Mayu Iwatani part two of her run as IWGP champion. The last match on that review for part two is Mayu and Sari. So from
Mm.
watching Stardom, when they announce the participants, they show their birthday. So I'm
Yeah.
literally in this chair, and I obviously have seen 1,000 Sari matches, and I'm kind of just writing down notes, and I had to do a double take, and I hit the rewind button. Sari was born 3/31, 1996,
Wow.
March 31st, 1996. My all-time favorite match, WrestleMania 12, Shawn Michaels versus Bret
Mhm.
Hart Iron Man match, March 31st,
Wow.
1996. So I'm like, how about that?
Yeah.
Sari, the sun god, one of the best wrestlers on this
Mhm.
planet, was born
Born
on the same day as my all-time favorite
the
match.
Iron Man
What
match.
what a coincidence, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. How about that?
Yeah, but again, folks, if you like every Joshi company, which you should because Joshi's crushing it, this is going to be the show for you. And again, this is going to be, we
Mhm.
have a lot to talk about. What usually myself and Andy Head are usually what we do when we record. We'll record Talk Joshi, and then we'll do a Patreon episode. The general idea, and I mentioned this last week on the Stardom cast, is myself and Andy, we're going to do our what if fantasy booking, which is what if Prime Jumping Bomb Angels were inserted into today's Joshi and they were freelancers, how they would book them. We're not going to have time because this is going to be a long episode. I want to watch AEW tonight, which we'll talk about that a little bit. I want to watch Daredevil from the night
It's
before.
good.
Did you watch it? So you're all
Yeah,
caught
yes, I
up on
did.
Daredevil.
Yes.
Oh, it's so
Mhm.
good. It's so good. So I figured this is going to be a long episode. We'll just do this one, and maybe next week, time pending, we'll do our what if
Mhm.
we were to book the Prime Jumping Bomb Angels in today's Joshi. That would be for our Patreon listeners. But Andy Header, let's get into our show and tell portion of said episode. So, free plug. Today's Wednesday as recording, which is New Comic Book Day.
Mhm.
So I head over to the Encounter Comics and Games Union Boulevard in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I go and I pick up my books. I only had two books today: Captain America and I think X-Men. That was it.
Wow.
A really short week. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get away cheap. As I'm getting ready to cash out, my buddy Pete, who works there, is like, hey, did you get your action figures? And I was like, no, did you guys get any new ones? Like, no, the ones that you ordered from us about 2 months ago. I was like, oh, I completely forgot. So, Andy Header,
Uh-oh, here we go. Hit the drum roll. What we got here? Oh, look at that,
look at that
Julia.
Julia. Look at
Nice.
that Julia. Now, Andy Header, I'm sure you've seen because you collect action figures, as so
Mhm.
do I. So you will see some people online saying, oh, I got an error. Like this one, it says John Cena, but it's really like Rey
Mhm.
Mysterio at CM Punk's head in this package. And you might be able to sell that for a few bucks. So I'm
Mhm.
getting ready to check out, and I was like, either I have an error. This might be an error. This might be worth, I don't know, $1,000 because I think it's an error. Or some people don't know their Julia history, like me, you, and our fantastic listeners. And here's the reason why.
Mhm.
You flip this baby on the back, it says her finishing move is the gory bomb. Now, Julia has a
Mhm.
lot of finishers. One of them is not the gory bomb, the glorious driver, the
Mhm.
northern lights bomb. She has a few finishers. It is not the gory bomb. So is this an error? Am I holding a million
A
dollar figure in
mistake?
my hands?
Yeah.
Or do people just not know their Julia like me, you, and our fantastic listeners of Talk Joshi? I don't know, folks, but let me know. I will take bidding offers on this
Yeah.
starting at $1,000. So
There you
because
go.
it's an error card. Again, it says right there, gory bomb.
Gory bomb.
So yeah, that's not unless they're trying to say Gloria our Northern Lights bomb or glorious driver.
Or they put it together, Glory Bomb, but then somehow left out the L and got Gory Bomb. I don't know how you would do that. That does seem like either way, it's a mistake. So I
Yeah.
wonder if they'll fix that because this is the first wave of the Julia figure,
This is the
obviously getting
first
out
Julia
there.
figure. Look how
Yeah,
awesome that looks.
the only other person from that wave is Crush that I got at the when we went to the big event. And then what else? Coco Beware's on that wave, and
Oh, there's
like
somebody else, good sir, that I have.
here we
You
go.
want this? Oh, this person wants to be on our YouTube channel.
There's another few figures in this wave. I'm looking for this one. Here we go.
Stephanie
Oh, look at that,
Baker.
Stephanie
Yes.
Beckor. That's awesome. I've never seen that figure, and she looks really good. Wow, how
Yes.
about that?
Yes, she does, sir. So yes, on this, you're absolutely right. Crush, Cody, Solo Sokola, the
The
Birdman,
Birdman.
Coco Beware. So, just have the career highlights. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to Julia. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Go back to Julie. I need to get these figures. These are not anywhere yet. If they
No,
are, I haven't seen them.
I asked my comic shop. I went on eBay. They were sold out everywhere, and they were
Hmm.
literally like they gave it to me for the same. They made no money on these, and I'm like,
Really?
no,
That's
upcharge
awesome.
me. And then again, free, the biggest plug in the world for the Encounter comics and games.
Hmm.
Okay, so again, Andy Header, but we'll move off this. Career highlights: United States champion, NXT Women's champion. Okay, where's white
Yeah.
belt? Where's the Wonder of Stardom champion? Where's the World of Stardom champion? How about 2022 winner of the greatest 5-star Grand Prix of all time? Again, this could be an error card. It
How about
really could. It could
even
be.
the generic champion in Japan would suffice? That's okay. Like when Tekla got fired from Japan, not from Stardom, but from Japan. So champion in Japan or multiple time champion at least. I guess sometimes in WWE the only thing that exists is WWE, unfortunately.
They did say when she was in NXT, she was Wonder and World of Stardom champion. That's
Wow,
obviously
they
just
did drop,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But
obviously kind of a joke though.
yeah,
I'm just joking
yeah,
around.
I know, yeah. Those figures look great and they look very mint. They don't look damaged at all or bent or ripped in any of the corners. So that's awesome. They got them for you. So they are super like fresh, brand new. I don't think you can pre-order them in Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I get a lot of my toys and figures and everything. I'll have to check, but that's awesome. That's cool. You got them.
Yeah, again, I was trying to get them. I knew they were coming out, and I was trying to get them, and they were sold out everywhere. I went on eBay, and they were like, you can get a pre-sale for like 50 some dollars. So I just when I said, hey, is there any way you guys can get these? And they're like, boom, 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 boom. It's $25. I said, all right, so what charge me whatever. They're like, we're charging you whatever we charge. I was like, no, don't do it. And they're like, and they did it because they're great.
That's
Again,
awesome.
shout
Yeah.
out Encounter Comics and Game, Union Boulevard, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Andy Hedder's been there a time or two
Hmm.
before. Really great place with some really great people. And there's actually one more, Stephanie Vicker. So if you guys really want the Stephanie Vicker, head on over to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Tell Matt Turner sent you. They will probably give you 10% off the wall books as well, if not
There you
20,
go.
because they're fantastic. So anyhow, there is my show and tell. Julie
Hmm.
and Stephanie Vicker, show us your show and tell because you showed me this yesterday and it brought back a lot of memories, good sir.
Yeah, so I guess so what better week to get those two figures in is one week when you only have two books and it's only, a small bill. So it wasn't as big a blow as if you had, let's
Yeah, it
say,
came out
10
to still be a
books.
big
Yeah,
bill. Yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh,
Because
whatever.
I haven't yet been to the shop today. I think I'm gonna go after this if we have time permitting. But anyway, so I was out at an auction of a farmer's market, and they have like a little video game stand, and there were guys selling that down in Manheim, Pennsylvania. It's called Roots, but it's spelled Roots, like Roots, but down there they pronounce it Roots. Anyway, it was Brian's Computers game. He had a bunch of Japanese games. I'm looking through and kind of read a little bit, and if not, I'm pulling out the titles. And there was like Ridge Racer and stuff like that. And I was like, if there's any wrestling, I'm just gonna buy it. So I pulled out one. I'm just gonna put it from the side here. It's You can see it. It does say. Let me see here. It does say it in Japanese, and I'm like, okay, there's right there, Pro Wrestling. So we got a wrestling title. So I pull it out, and what is it? But King of Colosseum, and there is actually two versions of this game. So this is obviously, if you zoom in, you can see there's Misawa and Vader down here, so Kobashi. So
Akiyama,
yeah,
Hashimoto.
yeah. Masato Tanaka's right there. A bunch of people. It's awesome. So I was like, I remember seeing a different game. So there's one that's a red cover and it is the New Japan roster on that game. So there's actually another version of this game. But I got this game, no manual, but there is the disc right there. And the disc is in great shape. The box is in great shape. On the back there, like, has the roster and it has like, match types and stuff like that.
Love it.
So it's really cool. And the best thing is I got this King Coliseum with a 01 version for $5. So that was the score of my day. I was like, I would have paid 10, I would have paid 20 for this, but $5, I'll take it.
I gave my PlayStation 2 to my sister Ashley when she went away to college, but I
Hmm.
would have bought that just so I have it.
Yeah.
$5. I
Yeah. $5.
just for a
Like, come
keepsake.
on.
Yeah, that cover's amazing. And I was kinda
Yeah.
going through it when you sent it to me, and I was trying to figure out who was who. So I was like, I know
Some is
Vader.
hard.
Yeah, some of it's like Ogawa's on the bottom. I think, but I know because I think that game came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was
So
2003. I looked it up. So this would probably be the year before the rosters, like 2001, 2002. Probably the cutoff was maybe early 2002, so they could work on this game to get it out.
So the guy with the armband with his arm in the air, that's got to be Jumbo Saruta, who
You would think, right?
yeah, right there,
Yeah.
because that's the Jumbo, yeah, the Jumbo, and I think he either passed away or he was getting close to, because he wound up dying, I think in his mid to late 40s, like right around the same age we
Wow.
are. So yeah, I think
Jeez.
it's like liver cancer or something like that. But that's really cool. Obviously,
Yeah.
Misawa on top, and I was like, and I'm glad that I actually forgot that there was like the New Japan version, which was red, because I'm like, where's
Yeah, and they go
Muda?
the other way. Like, yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Where's
where? Yeah,
Liger?
Muda and Liger, like their top two, and Chono. So I was like, but they go that way. So if you get, or sorry, it's
You're
backwards.
good.
So they go that way. So and it's a red background. So I gotta hunt that down and find that now. And you can like a lot of the original PlayStation 2 are region locked for Japan, the UK, and America. But if you get that big fat PlayStation 3 that has the 4 points in the front that plays PlayStation 1 and 2 games, it will play any game at all from anywhere in the world. So that's my tip for you. They are a little pricey for a PlayStation 3. It's going to cost you about 150 to 200, but you can play 1, 2, and 3 games and games from all over the world.
Look at that. I've been shopping around for a PlayStation 5 to put in this podcast room, and I was gonna wait till the price went down, and the price actually went up.
It's going up. It makes no sense. The best I tell people is go to GameStop, get yourself a nice guaranteed used one because the price has. It's the only time systems in the history of systems have went up as because what it came out in 2020 is now 6 years later, and the price is going up instead of down because of the shortage of chips and stuff because they've been using them for AI and data centers and stuff like that. And at
Oh,
first it was Bitcoin mining. That's that. Now it's AI.
I didn't know. Look at that. Andy Header, just to kind of tie this all in the Joshi talk, in that game, is there any Joshis on there?
I don't think so because it seems like it's all men. There's no girls in the back, and I haven't booted it up yet to see. But I'm just gonna go on a limb and probably say no. It'd be really cool if it did, but I'm just gonna say at the time of this game, there probably isn't any. Maybe there's a secret character. Maybe like they put like Miami Toyota in there or something like that. Just
Oh,
the
man.
hell of it, that'd
Paul
be awesome.
Nakano? Yeah.
Yeah, just to throw a wild card in there, but I don't know. I will boot up and then have to report back after I play it and see who's in it.
Folks, so next week I'm here we go. Very much like a good comic book or a good movie or a good episode of Daredevil. We're gonna leave you on the hinge here. Again, next week we know what we're reviewing. Yes, Wonderland. We're gonna
Hmm.
be reviewing the Marvelous Show, and Andy Header is gonna give us his review of King of Colosseum
Hmm.
for the Noah edition on the PlayStation 2. So a lot to look forward to next week. But next week is next week. This week is this week. Andy Header, all-Star Grand Queendom has come and gone, almost a 7-hour show,
Hmm.
3
Long.
different intermissions. They had to clean up the ring after the Saki Kashima retirement. They had to clean up the ring after the bloodbath. That was Suzuki and Rina Yamashita versus Hanako and Maika. And then
Hmm.
they gave another intermission. I think just to give Walker Stewart a time to take a nap. Because that
Probably.
guy called like 7 hours of wrestling. God bless him. And then they gave us an intermission for the last 2 matches. 7 hours, they broke the record. I know me and you were going back and
Hmm.
forth whether they would break the record or not. Once they announced it would be Sayaka Kurora in the main event, not Micah, not Shuri, not Starlight Kid. I wasn't sure, but you were like, no, they're going to break the record because Stardom and Saya Kamatani is the hottest they've ever been. So just on those names alone,
Hmm.
and the rest of the roster is fantastic, that you were dead set they were going to break the record. Sure enough, they did. Over
That's awesome.
8,000 people. One of the biggest non-Tokyo Dome shows that wrestling has drawn in Japan since the pandemic. So like they're
Wow.
outdrawing people left and right. Stardom. They are the hottest thing in Japan. Maybe all of wrestling right now. I think right
Hmm.
now, like nobody is doing the uptake in business that Stardom is. But again, myself and Rob, full review, almost a little over 3 hours. It's on, YouTube. Obviously, it's on our podcast feed. Andy Header, this is your time. What did you think of the show? Obviously, new champions crowned. Where do you think they're going? What do you see happening? Sir, the floor is yours. People want to know what your thoughts were on All Star Grand Queendom. And this is the spot to do it, my friend.
Yes, well, a great show. It was a little long, I gotta say. Sometimes the AEW pay-per-views, I say my one complete is they are very long. The show was very long and three intermissions, especially when you're trying to watch it at when did it start? 2 in the morning, our
1
time,
a.m.
Eastern
1
time.
a.m.
So
with the pre-show.
yeah, I was like, I'll tune into the main show, skip the pre-show, but I was trying to stay up as best I could, but I was falling asleep here and there. So I had to go back and rewatch some matches. But after that hardcore tag match, I would say the show really started firing all cylinders. That hardcore tag match. We'll just start with that. What a bloodbath! When Hanako came out with her blonde hair, I'm like, oh, she has blonde hair now. How about that? And it didn't dawn on me till they get in the ring and the beer cans. I'm like, I see where they're going. And her hair was red by the end of it, so it was crazy. I mean, the stabbing with the beer cans and everything, and Suzu and Rina, and that match was just, it was awesome, and it was completely different than everything else on the show, so it made it stand out even more. So it's not often we get a bloodbath in Stardom and like all weapons and crazy stuff like that. So yeah, great match there. Um, I gotta rewind a little bit. I thought Unagi was great, or not Unagi. Why I at least want to say Unagi? Fuwa-chan. Fuwa-chan. I
I knew
thought
that's where you're going. The
Unagi was
colors are
great too.
very the same. The
Yes,
colors are very the same. They're very flamboyant
yes,
and bright in their colors.
yeah. Unagi. So not Unagi. Fuwa-chan. So we gotta have them two wrestle each other. Then I want to know who too. Fuwa-chan did really good here, and I think she's gonna get to the next level because she's really good. Going on to my girl Izumi and
Miyu
Nagi,
Amasaki.
Yumi
A lot of
Masaki.
Miyus. There's a
Yep,
lot of
there's a lot of
Miyus we
Miyus.
talk about. Yeah.
I'm struggling here. They looked great with their new gear, and then they won the tag belts like we both thought they would. So that was really cool. Hanan won the tag or the tag belt, won the white title, which we all thought she would. And then I didn't see this coming. Maybe other people did, but then once she was on the shoulders of one B Priestley, I'm like, okay, I think I know what's happening here. And B Priestley turns on Hanan, and she's gonna be the first challenger. That was really cool, but like. I didn't like the B. It's like, well, I took my shirt off. Now I'm in hate. It's like, does everyone turn his heel have to join hate, especially when there already is, 500 members of hate? Like, but it's okay. It's cool. I like that. But Han, great hair. I wore her best hair for the show too, so we got to say that. So that was a great match there. And then when we go to the last match, the main event, I was
Rewind a
like,
little bit.
oh wait,
Shuri and Megan Bain.
sure. Oh, jeez, I'm forgetting. My God,
That's how great the
Shuri,
show was. Yeah. I
yeah,
want to I
and
want your opinion
there
on
was,
that.
yeah. If I forget anything, please, yeah,
I
Shuri and Megan
got you.
Bain was awesome. I think that's Megan Bain's best match ever, right? Like, come
Either
on.
that or the Micah red belt match at the
Oh
ECW
yes,
arena.
yes, that
Yeah, I
was
mean
really
it's
good.
still phenomenal. And Megan Bain definitely the had the best tan
Yeah, she
in the
came tan,
Yokohama arena.
but before she booked her hotel, she booked the tanning bed in Japan. She got in that before she went out to wrestle. Yeah, her tan game was very strong. Mika Wada was jealous. But speaking of her gear game was awesome. I wore her best gear because her gear looked Megan Bain. Her gear looked great. She looked great, and the match was great with Shuri. I mean, never did I really think Megan Bain was going to win. I was like, maybe, but I thought I was 95% sure Shuri was going to keep it here, and she did. But yeah, Megan Bain's best match, at least since that Micah match, I mean, it's really good. Megan Bain really kind of leveled herself up, even when losing. It was a very good match. Shuri looked great, of course. Lita Cross didn't come with her. I thought maybe they would, and she'd come out in the second round of the ring, but hey, that's okay. She had the AW tag title with her, so that match was great. Got to go back and rewind a little bit. FWC winning the tag thing, that was really cool, and that would probably go on to be the next challenger. So who doesn't want to see FWC versus O2 line? Come on now. Natsupoi wearing the Kairi Sane tag team gear, the Sky Pirates. Yeah, and
Yeah, to interject because obviously Kyrie got released the day before, and she
yeah.
comes out in the Pirates. Obviously, she has it's the biggest show in Stardom history, so everybody's on their Sunday best. She had
Hmm.
the really cool robe and the hair and everything, but you can kind of see through. I'm like, that looks like the Pirates gear.
Hmm.
And I could be wrong. I don't think I am. The last time she wore that is when she challenged Mina Shirakawa for the Wonder of Stardom champion right after Mina beat Kamatani at All Star Grand Queendom 3 years ago. And the reason why she wore that gear is because at that time, Kyrie was like the benchmark of like how the Wonder of champion should be, and that was gifted to her when she was the Poirot. So I was like, now does she? So I'm like, I think she's wearing the Poirot's gear. So then she takes the robe off and she sees it. Now, Andy Header, I kind of want to get your wrestling brain here before you talk about the match. The cameraman did a great job stopping on the knee pads, which had
Hmm.
like the pirate stuff. And then, in the words of the Iron Sheik, zoom in, cameraman.
Yep.
Zoom. Was that done as a tribute or like, hey, you're welcome back here, Mike? Is this a
No,
conspiracy theory? But I want to throw it on you, buddy. What did you think there?
you don't. First off, you don't wear gear that your tag partner, who less got released from her job and could possibly come back, you don't wear that for nothing, right? I mean, I know we said the same thing about Tam, and Tam didn't show up here, which we all well wish she did, but she didn't. We'll get there. But yeah, you don't wear that for nothing. You don't zoom in when just to say, hey, if you want to come back. Although we'll get to where Kyrie's going. I think she might go somewhere else. But anyway, we'll get there. But yeah, you don't do that for no reason. So I think there was probably like, hey, Kyrie, check this out. Remember that's the point. She'd like you back, and we'd like you back. So we'll see. But now going to the main event, Sayaka Kora came out. She had her Tam inspired staff and robe and everything. She looked great here. Sayaka Kora, I mean, you and Rob said it that you're both a little bit higher on Aya Sakura rather than Sayaka Kora. Nothing against Sayaka Kora, and hey, she did great here, and this was her best match ever. I mean,
Phenomenal.
come on now. So she was great here, and when Sai came out, and I don't know, I'm gonna put this to you and Rob here. Sai had for the first time since she turned heel, she has a little bit of red in her gear, and I know you kind of hint that maybe that's the hinting to somebody else that could possibly come back. And I was thinking, is this like the slowly more and more color coming to her gear until finally she becomes face again? Maybe that could be just a slow little burn there, maybe. But then when Saya
Ooh.
does become face again, she can't go back to how she was. She has to be like a hybrid of the two Sayas. She
She's got to
can't.
be the Golden Phoenix Queen.
Yes, the
I
Golden
agree.
Phoenix Queen. There we go.
Oh, because they out in the beginning of her theme, which is the Golden Phoenix is dead. Andy Header, you read a comic book a time or two. The Phoenix, very popular
Hmm.
character in the X-Men character. And what did the Phoenix always do? Rises from the
Yep.
ashes. So
Hmm.
it's all right there connecting, but I didn't point that. I'm kind of going towards my kind of Star Wars reference where when Padme was Pat was getting ready when she gave birth to Luke and Leia, and her last words were "There's good in him, I know it," meaning Anakin turned into
Hmm.
Vader, and a lot of people, including Obi-Wan, try to pull the good out of him, can never do it, and eventually Luke did it at the end of Return of the Jedi. So I'm doing a parallel here towards Star Wars and this Tam
Star Wars Stardom.
Saya store. So maybe Tam is still from afar trying to pull the good out of Kamatani.
Hmm.
Very, very much like Obi-Wan and some of the other characters tried and couldn't do it. But then maybe Utami, and we're gonna get into it. I want to get your
Hmm.
opinion. Maybe Utami's the Luke Skywalker that does pull.
Maybe. Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot they can do there, sir. But continue on. Obviously, great entrances. Literally, Rob texted me when Sayaka came out, and he thought that was actual Tam.
Yeah. Like, oh. Doo, 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 doo,
Yeah,
doo,
that's you need. Yeah,
doo.
they should have messed their themes up.
They
You
should have.
know what I mean?
That would have been awesome. Rob would have been like, "I'm turning it off." Anyway, yeah, the match was great. Sayaga's best match by far. I At the end, I'm like, you thought, I thought, Rob thought, Saya's winning this one. Sayaka ain't gonna win. She's what did Rob say? She has 11 singles victories, 12 singles victories, something like that. So I was like, she ain't gonna win. But man, Stardom is going all in, and I'll wait to see how the story plays out here. Uh, I don't think I would have picked Sayaka to go over Saya Kamatani here and win the title, but I wouldn't have picked Saya to turn heel. I wouldn't have picked Micah to drop the belt to Natsuko Tora when they did, but everything worked full circle. So I don't know if it's the right move, but we'll see. But hey, Sayaka, sorry, Sayaka, if she can run with the title, I don't like you two. I don't think it's gonna be a long title run by any means. I don't see it being 400 and how many days that Saya's was, but
483, and she was
483, which
and
is
she was Wonder
insane.
for 480. So
Wow,
combined,
she took about
almost a
3 days.
thousand day, almost 1,000 days between the two big championships from Stardom. That's great, and
That's
so
yeah, that's
many
awesome. Yeah.
phenomenal matches, like just
Hmm.
really next level.
Yeah, but when Sayaka hit that Firebird Splash, the 450, which is kind of like Saya's, Stardust Press, but a little bit different. You just do a
No, well,
450.
Kamatani, when she was the Golden Phoenix, she would use the Star Crusher to set up for either the Phoenix
Oh, and then she would go
Splash
up for it.
or the 450. So she has used the 450 quite a bit
Okay,
when
I
she was
thought
the
she just
Golden
did the Phoenix
Phoenix.
Splash.
No, she did the Phoenix. The 450 was the Firebird Splash, Firebird Phoenix, and then she
Hmm.
had the Phoenix Splash. So
Hmm.
so she did use the 450 quite a bit, and a lot of times she would use the Star Crusher to set up for the 450. But then she got injured in that match with Tam. You remember at night one of the
Hmm.
2023 5-star Grand Prix. And then she was trying to do more actual big impact moves and the high flying stuff. And then once she turned heel, she never did it. She teased it a couple times in the Tam
A couple
matches,
times, yeah.
but never did. So that was and Walker Stewart did a great job putting together that Sayaka Kurora used Saya Kamatani's one of her Golden Phoenix finishers that she hasn't used in 2 years against her. And I was like,
Hmm.
that was pretty interesting. But yeah, she has won a lot of
Okay.
matches
Yeah, I thought
with
it
the
was always
450.
the
The
Stardust Press version. So
the Phoenix Splash. No,
yeah,
no,
Phoenix
no.
Splash.
She's used that was like her nuclear finish. Like once she hit that, it was pretty well over. But she has used that 450, the Phoenix, the Firebird Splash quite a bit to win
Wow.
matches when she was a baby face. So again, still trying to pull the Golden
Yeah,
Phoenix
that's
out of the
cool.
Phoenix Queen. Yeah.
I like that. But and hey, what a great 450 was going. Sayaka went up there and hit that. Like, wow, that's awesome. And I was like, wait, one, two, okay, so he's gonna kick out, she's gonna kick out three. And I was like, oh my god, Sayaka's won it. She has done it. So she has avenged Tam for the most part, for now at least. I mean, still thinking, there might be Tam down the road. Who knows? But yeah. Sayaka wins the title. Great match, a great show. Just a little bit long, but hey, if you edit out the intermissions that they had to take, especially the one after Saki Kashima retirement. Hey, great retirement by the way. Ishii came out. I didn't know they had any connection at all. So yeah, if you could edit that out and put the show down, it would make it a little bit more uh, digestible. But it was a great show nonetheless. It is the second biggest. It's basically their SummerSlam. So it might not be a long show, but yeah, great show. New champions. Hate has no titles now, except
They have
for
the
what
artist belts.
the artist belts. Yeah, sorry. Um, so none of the main title. So it's a new Stardom. It'll be cool to see who's going. And I think what Maki Ito's going to be Sayaka's first challenger, right? So that's one that's like it's believable she can beat it, but she's probably not going to beat her. Sayaka's probably going to beat her. So that's a good first challenger, and a good first challenger for Hana and Bea Priestley too. So yeah, great show. Liked it. Just a little bit long, especially when you start at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. But it just it's a little weird to see what they're gonna do with Saya now. But you think, hey, if Saya's free and somebody else might be coming, and then we'll get to maybe right after this. Maybe Saya wins the 5-star, and then she goes on to challenge whoever's the champion at the time, which probably won't be Sayaka, but who knows? Never know. But anyway, great show overall.
Main event, how many stars, Andy Header? I think this one's pretty universal.
Yeah, you think you would say 5 stars, right? I mean,
Yeah, I will
great
be.
match.
Yeah, I actually just did this probably about just this time yesterday. I emailed Big Dave
Mm-hmm.
and was
Send in
like,
your file.
I told him I basically gave him the backstory. Here's why it deserves 5 stars. And if you need a Joshi columnist, hit that reply button. So who
Yeah,
knows? We'll see
you
what
never
happens. If
know.
you don't
Yeah,
ask, the answer is always no. And
this is
in
true.
the words of our favorite Viking death metal band, Amon Amarth, find a way or make one. So we'll see what happens.
There you
Maybe
go.
we get some Joshi content over on the Wrestling Observer. And I'll
That is
tell Big
awesome.
Dave, no, you don't worry about it. I'll do the 5-star, I'll do the ratings for Joshi, which by the way, folks, follow us on Talk Joshi 2025 for all of the star ratings. I actually have all the pictures saved on my phone because there's going to be, I think, 20 some odd matches that I'm
Wow.
rating for at Talk Joshi 2025 on our Twitter because this was Joshi Mania, buddy. Yeah, a lot of
Hmm.
really great stuff. They did Stardom did have a show today that's on VOD. And Stardom did put on their social medias kind of the follow up. Bea Priestley, new gear, all black gear, looks
Hmm.
like an absolute badass. Like looks how she did
Nice.
when she was in a Wedo tie. So that's really cool. They did after Suzu Suzuki's match. Suzu Suzuki basically said she doesn't think Sayaka Kurora can carry Stardom to the next level. So it
Mm.
does look like if Sayaka Kurora retains at the next pay per view, Queen's Dynasty, which I think she will, that I think Suzu Suzuki is going to be next. That's what they have set up. So we'll see how that happens. Now, I know there's a very few small portion of the Stardom audience was just like, this new Stardom, just they're not going to sell, they're not going to do well because new champion. But Andy Header, they broke the in the building they were in today. I don't know where they were, standing room only. Literally
Wow.
had to shut it down because it's just standing room only, highest that they've ever drawn or any company's ever drawn there. And that pay per view Queen's Dynasty, all but 2 sections are sold out.
Really? Wow, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so they're going to
Well,
be fine.
Saya's still there. She's not done. Like, Suri's still there. Micah's still there. So it's not like anyone's leaving. Just if the person you didn't want to win didn't win, doesn't mean the company's going out of business.
I did say this when we did our review. If you would have told me Sayaka Kura won this match without the help of Tam, I would have been like, Really? But the
Yeah.
way the match was in the story, like, with Sai Kamatani going for the Twilight Dream, which was the same move a
Mm-hmm.
year ago that she retired Tam, and then she couldn't hit it, then Momo Watanabe comes in and helps out, and then Soriano pushes Momo Watanabe to break up the pinfall. There was a lot of mirroring of certain things, but I thought it was a great match. I'm excited to see what the future not sure what the future is gonna bring, but, like, I'm all in for it. We'll see what happens. Now, I do want to get your opinion on something. They did make mention about halfway through the show. So about 4 hours into the show, halfway through the show.
Yeah.
I'm just
The
joking.
whole show's length.
This was it was a great show. It's just like the AEW. Well, AEW does it a lot on their pay-per-views where they're long. This reminds me of like those Wrestle Kingdoms a handful of years ago when the roster was loaded. The Wrestle Kingdoms like were 6 or 7 hours long.
Mhm.
And you didn't mind it because it's only the one time a year they have a super long show, and those last handful of matches are great. So I obviously didn't mind it, but they did make mention halfway through the show. They gave the dates for the 5-star Grand Prix, and usually the finals over that last handful of years are Cork and Hall, which they haven't done in a few years because how big Stardom is. Usually Oda Ward, usually Yokohama Budokan. The finals are in Sumo Hall and Ryogoku
Mhm.
Kakukigen, where they always run Dream Queendom. And I know that that building is very expensive to run. So my guess, if they're going to try to fit 5,000 6,000 people in Sumo Hall for the finals, you figure they got to load that up with some big stuff. My guess is they'll probably do the semifinals and finals on the same night, like they've done pretty much. I think every 5-star Grand Prix. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But if Sayaka Kurora, whoever's champion going into that show isn't in the semifinals or finals. You figure out how to put a red belt match, a white belt match, and maybe return a former 5-star Grand Prix winner, former
Mhm.
white belt and red belt champion. Oh hoy, one Kairi. But my guess, and I kind of just want to get your opinion on it, if they're going to try to draw 5, 6, 7,000, whatever to that show, you figure they got to load that up, right? Other than the finals.
Yeah. You would think a little bit of AEW talent to bring over. Why not?
Maybe not because they haven't needed it. There was
Yeah,
no
you
a
really don't.
yeah,
I mean, technically Megan Bain, but she's
sure.
yeah, but I know, but that's what I'm thinking. Someone like that. I mean, you're not gonna bring over like a bunch of maybe you bring in Mercedes, but I mean, again, they don't need it. But and obviously
I
Serena will
wouldn't say
probably be on the
no.
card.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
wouldn't say
yeah,
no to
yeah, yeah.
Mercedes against Micah or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Tekla. Maybe Tekla comes over and defends against somebody. That'd be pretty cool. Even if it's Tekla versus a current Hate member, because she's a former member of Hate. So that would be cool. But yeah, I think we'll get a red belt match, a white belt match. Here's one for you. What about Hanan? What if they build up Fuwichan? Think she's on a roll? Fuwichan gets a white belt title shot. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe
I mean,
her and
I don't see her winning, but
no. That's a good point, buddy. Because what if Hanan and Fuchan are in the same bracket and they're wrestling night two or
ooh,
night three, and Fuchan beats her, and
yeah.
then she comes out and challenges her on the final night. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be
And
really interesting to see what they're going to do there. My guess is something big with Kamatani is going to happen. Either she's going to win the belt back at that show,
or win the
or
finals.
she wins the
Yeah,
5-star.
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
people are going to pay money to see Saya do something big for her ascend back to the top.
I would agree with you there, and I don't know how long Sayaka's title reign is going to be. I guess well, no one does except for probably Taro Okada. But yeah, you think she's going to have a couple defenses? Like who would she defend against? There, maybe Momo. That would be a good defense for her. The other Hate members getting a shot maybe before Saya gets a shot because Saya wins a 5-star. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, again, it's be really interesting. I'm excited to for Stardom to see how they're going to go there. Sai Kamatani not having the championship, 9 successful title defenses. You add in the match she lost the belt. Saya Kurora in the
Hmm.
match she won the match against Tam. Those are 5-star matches. The Izumi match, in my opinion, is a 5-star match. The
What a
B,
run,
yeah, Natsupoi, the Sakura match in Cork and Hall last May was. I actually just watched it. I think today. Yeah, I think earlier today I did my workout from home today, so I think I had that on. Played Soriano match was great. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just so many Suzuki at the beginning of the
Yep,
last
yep.
year, 5-star match. I mean, it's just one as far as match quality goes, it's either this or the EOV 14. And business wise, it's clearly Kamatani. I mean,
Yeah,
clearly
yeah. I
Clearly,
mean,
clearly Kamatani. And Hitter, you touched upon something, and we're going to kind of build towards it. Again, I know a lot of Joshi going on, so I'm going to throw some matches at you and some shows. I don't know if you've seen them. If not, I'll kind of just hit the beats. Obviously, myself and Rob, we're going to be talking about this show on the Marigold Standard. But did you get a chance to watch the Marigold Cork and Hall show that had that must-see main event of Miko Ano defending the red belt, the World of Marigold Championship against Utami Hayashishita.
I did see the main event. I made sure to watch the main event as soon as I could the next day because, unfortunately for me, I seen the news of Utami leaving, and I was like, well, and now I gotta watch the match just to see what happened. I was like, well, we all thought she's gonna win the title back, you know? It'll be Utami first, second time Marigold Red Belt champion. No, because match was really good. Match was great. She doesn't win. Uh, I forgot the name of
Red
Mickey
Sensation.
Red
Oof.
Sensation, which
Oof.
looked brutal, just absolutely brutal. I'm like, oh, I mean, not in a bad way. I mean, it
Fake
looked
brutal.
the
Yeah.
best. It looked the worst it could in the best possible way. There we go.
I like
Utami
that.
wasn't. Yeah,
That's the next t-shirt.
yeah,
Talk
yeah.
Joshi.
There we
We're
go.
the best we have at the worst possible way, or
Yeah,
whatever. That's our next
yeah.
t-shirt.
Look, the worst it could in the best possible way. But yeah, yeah, a great finish, a great match. Tommy doesn't win, but I'm like, okay, a little surprising, but you know, I seen before that, she's leaving, and then what her last date with Marigold is May 25th. Now
23rd.
23rd. So yeah, I don't see Utami going to AEW. Definitely don't see her going to WWE. I think Utami's going to Stardom because right there, Saya is the number one star. Her former tag partner, her best friend. There's so much they could do there. I thought there would be a lot they could do with Saya as the world champion and Utami coming back going after belt. But now they can still do the storyline. Maybe by the time maybe Tommy comes in, but I would almost immediately put a Tommy and Saya together if she's gonna come in. I know Rob says she's gonna be freelance. I don't see it. I think she's gonna go back to Stardom and be 100% in Stardom. I mean, the biggest women's company in the world, so why not? So I think Tommy and Saya kind of got to link them, even if they don't wrestle for a few months. You got to link them not in a singles match anyway. You got to link them almost immediately. I like your idea of the lights go out and red roses in the ring, so that way you can hint to her without her actually showing up yet, because she's still contractually obligated to Marigold. But I think Utami, that the match was great, but Utami's leaving, and I think Utami is going to Stardom.
Here's easy booking in a lot of these companies, any wrestling company, because Cork and Hall is always a great building to book because it's Cork and Hall, legendary building. You can stream there. We've seen on Wrestle Universe, we've seen
Mm-hmm.
it on Stardom World, we've seen Stardom give a lot of Cork and Hall shows free on YouTube. So Cork and Hall is always like appointment viewing, no matter what company it is. And if you have Cork and Hall booked quite a bit, like we see Marigold and Stardom has it booked like almost 2 or 3 times a month, every month this year, you can book Cork and Hall to Cork and Hall show and just be
Mm-hmm.
like, at the end of the main event, so and so comes out. I'm like, hey, I challenge you for a match or a championship, and we'll do it in 3 weeks' time right here in Cork and Hall. And you literally can go downstairs right to where the box office is and buy tickets. And I always say the prime example is ECW, right when they were getting hot in 96, 97, they would run the CYC in Scranton like every 6 to 7 weeks, give or take. And at intermission, Joey Styles would come out and be like, coming up, next month on April 4th, we're back here at the CYC. You'll see Taz take on the Sandman. I'm just throwing out there a New Jack, take
Yeah.
on Rob Van Dam, and blah, 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 blah. And by the way, tickets are on sale now. And it was
Mm-hmm.
intermission. And you would just see
People
400
get
people
up. Yep.
go all the way down the steps. I mean, it was a hazard, actually. Somebody could got hurt. It was the 90s. We didn't care. And
Yeah.
it's ECW at that point. And go
So
down
you're
the
right. Don't
stairs
care.
and buy tickets. So the reason why I use that example is the end of the year, we are booking Dream Queendom. Now it's supposed to be in Sumo Hall. I have some people thinking, what if they run Budokan, the Nippon Budokan Hall,
Mm.
where they can draw like 12,000 people because Stardom's so big. But I know Teru Okada at the end of last year's Sumo Hall, where they did 6,500, he said that we're going to open up all the sumo seats. Because some of the sumo seats you can sit 2 and 3 people. So
Mm.
now what they've always done, they've only sold one seat there. So if you know somebody, for example, if me and you were going to be going to Sumo Hall, we may as well get those 2 seats and just sit, right there,
Yeah.
right there. So he did say that we're going to open up the entire Sumo seats for Sumo Hall in 2026 for Dream Queendom. So they want to do the 10,000 there. So there's a possibility that more than likely Dream Queendom at the end of the year is going to be in Sumo Hall again. Again, if they want to run the legendary Nippon Budokan Hall, the house that Masao built, I'm all for it. So again, getting to my point with booking from Korakuen to Korakuen, what if you book Sumo Hall to Sumo Hall? What I mean
Mm.
by is, what if at the end of the finals of the G1, excuse me, the five star.
That's right.
Actually, the G1 is actually finals is actually 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before the 5 star in the same
Really?
building. So it's gonna be interesting to
Wow.
see if Stardom, their final, can outdraw the New Japan final. That's gonna be
Yeah.
really interesting. What
Well.
if at the end Kamatani wins the belt back and Utami wins the 5 star? And then
Oh.
at the end, they have a face off, and they're just like, look, if you can, and Utami's like, if you can have your successful defenses between now and the end of the year, we will meet right here in this building, December 29th, because it's always December 29th,
Mm-hmm.
2026. And then they're going to be like, oh, by the way, the tickets are on sale now because the box office is as soon as you walk in right by the gates. Myself and Rob did a quick little live podcast right there. So I'm like, the box office is right there. So what if Andy Header? We know obviously they're going to have defenses on the way up, which they're
Yeah.
just going to be they're going to be great matches because it'll be either, or maybe Utami wins the red belt and Saya wins the five. So you can do it either way.
You could go that way too. Yeah.
But what if when the 5-star finishes, we have a clear idea where we're going between the end of the summer and the end of the year? And what if that's the 4-month build we get with Utami and Saya Kamatani? It'll
Mm.
be their first singles match against each other since then I believe that it'll be the same building, Sumo Hall,
Really?
Night
Wow.
One of World Climax 2022 for the Wonder Belt. But
Wow.
now it's a completely different Saya
Mm-hmm.
Kamatani because she's a heel. She's a heel.
Hey, hey.
And what if you do that way? I think it's genius. I'm totally against when Rob told me live on air, and he's like, I don't think Saya's going to Stardom. And I'm like, or Utami's going to Stardom. And I'm like, I could be wrong. I'm wrong quite a bit. I always say it's part
Mm-hmm.
of my charm. But to me, if you take a step back logically, it makes the perfect sense. It's 2 years. Tommy was a massive star, when she was in
Mm-hmm.
Stardom. It's a completely bigger Stardom. You're getting the machine behind her. You're getting a bigger machine behind Oru Tommy Hayashishita. Uzumi is in a different faction because Queen's Quest doesn't exist. I mentioned to you off air, Momo Watanabe, when she turned, Otami and Momo never had that big blow off. You can
Mm.
do that there. Or if Momo does turn and leaves Hate, because eventually we have to get some of these members out of Hate because it's just way
Yeah.
too
It's
crowded.
too big.
Utami's new faction, Utami and Momo,
There you
like
go.
with
Yeah.
FWC, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all right there.
Come
But to
on.
me, I know me and you seem to be on in perfect sync here as usual. To me, it's a shoe in. I think it's again not unless she's like, no, I want to go to WWE or AEW, and
Yeah.
obviously those are the two biggest wrestling companies in the world. Say what you want, clearly they are.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's a no brainer for her to go back into Stardom. Stardom would want her back. She would want to go to work to Stardom. And there's so much that you can do just on the side stuff alone. So I just think
Yeah.
it's a no brainer that she goes back to Stardom. Not only that, but the next pay per view is called Queen's Dynasty. And when you think of the main
Yeah.
people in Queen's Quest, right? So the main five of all time in Queen's Quest there's Io, Utami, Azumi, Kamatani, and Momo Watanabe. Which one of those five phenomenal wrestlers, when you think of Queen, who do you think of first? The Red
Messiah.
Queen,
Yep.
Utami Hayashishita, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
clearly the Red Queen. She's Utami Hayashishita. Now, the one thing is, her last show on Marigold is the same day. So
Mm.
I don't know the timing because sometimes Marigold will have
Maybe.
their shows out. I don't know
Yeah.
how far it is. Or again, they don't need to do much because technically she's not under contract with Marigold. So they can literally have the lights shut off, the lights come back in, and there's the red rose. You could do it
Yeah.
right
That
there.
that's enough. People would know enough. They know they're not gonna think it's somebody else. They're gonna think it's her. Or you could have the promo play. Just real quick, like just it's going down a hallway, and then you go see the red rose on the ground. Then the camera pans up, and then she turns around, and it's a Tommy, and that's it. You'd be like, okay, that's enough to.
Or you
Yeah.
don't even need Utami that you can get somebody with some decent height, right? And then you're absolutely right. You go down a hallway and there's like petals of a red rose, and then you pan up. Doesn't even have to be her. Just put somebody in the red jacket, and
Mm-hmm.
as you pan up, it's the red jacket, the mask on the ground, and then the flag, Queen's Quest.
Oh, there you go. That's
There's
enough.
a
Yeah.
lot that
Yeah.
you can do. There's a
Yeah,
lot they
I
can do.
think Utami going back to Stardom makes the most sense. I mean, yeah, WWE's gonna throw a bunch of money, but I just don't think they're going to, especially with releasing Kyrie. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, maybe AEW, but I don't see it either. I mean, look, she can work with her buddies. It's a new booker too. So I mean, she's coming into that. She doesn't have to leave Japan. It's all fresh matchups. She's with her buddies. She's gonna be on top. I think it's almost a slam dunk to have Utami go back to Stardom.
She'll make more money because the
Yeah.
company's bigger, and again, the machines behind her. I mean, Utami's always next level aura, especially watch those big Stardom shows, from 2021 and 2022. And now you're putting that production. Speaking of which, oh my, how crazy was that production for all?
Oh,
That
top
was
notch. Yeah.
WrestleMania level. That
Yeah,
was like
it was.
WrestleMania level.
the what are
Drones.
the drones that were flying around them for the entrance, the camera quality, I'm like, this is HD, like absolute ultra HD. They all even look great, and yeah, production was through the roof for that.
I thought they were birds at first. I was like, "What
Yeah,
are all these
robotic birds,
birds doing?" I'm like, "Oh,
trained birds.
yeah." But yeah, that's the way I see it. Regardless what Utami does, obviously, selfishly, I would like her to stay in Marigold because Marigold needs the help, and I
They
love
need people.
Marigold. Them and AEW probably my second favorite companies to watch. Obviously, Stardom's my favorite, but they really need the help. And again, the people.
Hmm.
That work for Marigold have been nothing but great to us, myself and Rob. Nothing but first class. I want to see that company succeed. I love watching that company grow. So obviously, the big hit Utami leaving. If she goes to AEW, she does free. I will follow wherever she goes. She goes
Hmm.
to Tokyo Joshi Pro. That'd be fun because who doesn't want to
Yeah,
see, as Rob said,
Tommy
Utami
and
versus.
Miyu.
Yeah, or as Rob said on the podcast, Aja Kong versus Utami in the bottom of a well because that's what that match would happen.
There we go. Or a
Yeah,
ball pit somewhere. Or with Bucky's outfits. Does it tell me like Bucky's?
rumor has I know we're getting off kilter. One of my store owners told me that there's a Bucky's going in Easton.
Really? Wow. So that'll be the first Bucky's in Pennsylvania and the first one in the area because I think the closest one is West Virginia, somewhere around there. I know they are like this huge. Imagine a Sheets or Wawa times 10. That is Bucky's. So I think I was in one once, but it was an early Bucky's and they didn't level up yet or evolve, poke evolve yet. So if one goes into Easton, I mean that's gonna be huge.
We'll see. We'll see. Man, we can have that tag match, me and you versus Palm and Raku inside of a
There we
Bucky's.
go on the side of a Bucky's. There we go. I said to Andy Zyke, I texted him like, "Do you think anyone from Bucky's is aware of the love that Tokyo Joshi Pro has for him?" He goes, "No, not at all."
The free
Yep.
publicity. Andy Hedder, you mentioned one Kyrie. Now it was
Hmm.
actually when myself and Rob recorded, it was Kyrie that they released her. Now there's a lot going on saying Kyrie, her contract was up and she asked
Yes.
not to resign because she wanted to go back to Japan. Her husband's here. She owns a couple of gyms. So I think it's just kind of weird because she's in the middle of this 8 month story that you could have just finished at Backlash, which is in 2 weeks, and they announced
And
Io
then
versus
took off.
Asuka
Yeah.
and then went, but maybe she's just like, I'm done. I just want to go back home and see my family. So
Yeah.
I don't know where that goes. I just want your take on that. And where do you think, again, obviously Kyrie wants to go back to Japan, so she's not going to be signing with AEW, not unless, she does a couple of shots with them.
Yeah.
But what do you think of what's going on with Kyrie? And obviously Kyrie, I think earlier today she said, I'm not done with wrestling by any stretch of the
No,
imagination.
no, she's not done.
Where do you think Kyrie ends up?
Yeah, a little surprising when her name was among the list of releases. I mean, they always do the releases every post WrestleMania. And I text you right when Kylie got released, and they said Kyrie's contract just ran up, but she wants to go back. So, her second run not so great. I mean, she was a tag champion, but they were building this story where she was actually going to turn on Asuka and wrestle her. So it's weird that they didn't finish that out. But maybe she's just like, I had enough. Who knows? Might have been other reasons, like when she was just tired of WWE and all the hoopla that comes with that, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna go back to Japan. But I think there's two possible ways I see Kyrie. I don't see AEW unless they bring her in for a couple shots here or there. Maybe Forbidden Door. That would be awesome. Kyrie versus well, not Tony. Kyrie
Anybody.
versus anybody. That doesn't really matter. Kyrie versus Tekla. There we go. But Kyrie definitely go back to Japan. Everyone's gonna say Stardom right away. Kind of I want to say nothing against it, but been there, done that. She likes Rossi, she likes Mayu, she likes Io. Where did Io go when she went back? She went to Marigold. So I think Kyrie, if anything, she's going back to Marigold. Well, not going back. She's going to Marigold. She's going back to Japan to be a Marigold. If anything, she'll be freelance like Sari and do all of them. I mean, why not? She's Kyrie. No one's going to say no to her. But I think she's probably going to go to Marigold. Marigold could really use her, and they really need more people because everyone's hurt right now. And I think even if everyone was at full health, they still could use Kyrie. So I think Kyrie will go to Marigold. But if she was freelancer, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But I don't think we're going to see her in Stardom.
I think we may see shots from time to time. I think she'll do the freelance stuff very much like she did in 2022. She did a lot of stuff for Stardom,
Mm-hmm.
but she did a lot of freelance stuff. She did Cerism shows. She worked, I think, an Unagi show. She worked All Japan, which is crazy. The fact that Kyrie was in
Yeah.
All Japan. But my thing with Kyrie, and the kind of the one knock on her when her matches were great in 2022. The one knock was in Stardom. No one pinned her. No
Yeah. No
one
one got
pinned her, and
over.
if one person could have used it or where they were building would been Kamatani when Kamatani
Mm-hmm.
was Wonder Champion because they were teasing a mystery person in Rossi's office every time Kamatani came to talk to Rossi. And then when Kairi did the press conference that she was back, one thing she did post press conference was she told Kamatani, "I'm coming for that belt. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have done a great job with it, but I was like the first big star for that belt. So you figured
Mm-hmm.
we're building towards a Kamatani and Kairi match, and Kamatani needs to go over. They had a great match, 30-minute time limit draw, really fantastic. So my whole thing was like, again, Bushiroad's a bigger company, Stardom's a bigger company.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's coming off a second run in WWE on a worldwide basis because of TKO, love it or hate it, are bigger now than they were a handful of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's bigger. So my whole thing was, if I'm Bushiroad, I call up Kyrie and like, hey, we're gonna offer you a 5 or 6 match deal. You're gonna go over in all your matches, and we can even have play with the opponents. You want to beat Rina, you want to tag with Natsupoi and Soriano to do restart versus any 3 people, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But at the end of this, you need to put Kamatani over and give Kamatani a successful red belt defense. Now, so Andy Header, we had literally, I was going to bed the other night and you texted me, Kyrie got released. I was like, wow. Fast forward 10 hours later, Utami's leaving Marigold. So I take a step back and I'm like, Kamatani's definitely retaining because now we can further the Kamatani story with
Yeah.
Kyrie and Utami. That never happened. And then I was like, they're doing. I mentioned this on the Stardom cast. Kamatani's runs right now are Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Now we knew Guns N' Roses, they had all that stuff, right? Instead of
Mm-hmm.
making one giant album, they figured let's release 2 albums. So Use Your Illusion 1 is done. My guess is the Kyrie and Utami stuff, if they go that way and Kamatani does win the championship, is that'll be Use Your Illusion 2. So again, I still think Kyrie's doing freelance, but at the same time, she's in Japan, wants to wrestle in Japan. She's going to want to wrestle for the company that's going to give her the most exposure
This is no.
and the most money. And there's only one. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close. It not only Stardom have the most buzz in the Joshi, the wrestling in Japan. It's just everybody is talking about Stardom. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
talking about Stardom. So again, she's there. She wants to wrestle. I think again, Stardom will welcome her back, but I think that she would need to do business. And the main thing would be putting Kamatani over in a big match. Again, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
the match in the 5-star Grand Prix or whether it's Kamatani getting the red belt back, which we all think she's going to. So again, we'll see how that shakes out. But I agree. I think that Marigold definitely will need the shot in the arm. She's very loyal to Rossi. At the end of the day, it's a business, and no one's going
Mm-hmm.
to offer Kyrie more money than Stardom if that's the way it goes.
Yeah, and what bigger match really, besides when Kyrie and Mayu, Kyrie and Saria, than Kyrie and Saya Kamatani right now in 2026? You know?
Sai is the biggest.
Yeah.
Suri's a big draw. Mayu's a big draw, but it's Kamatani and Kamatani with that machine behind her. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
literally the perfect storm. It's like Hulk Hogan in the 80s was the biggest star and the biggest machine was WWE, WWF. So
Mm-hmm.
it's literally like, it's the biggest thing there. So obviously, again, she's good friends with Natsupoi. She's good friends with Soriano. So I mean, there's a lot they can do. Again, I like Kyrie versus Suri. That's
Yeah, surrealism. Hey, come on now.
yeah,
You
there's a
know?
lot they can do. It's exciting time to be a Joshi fan because we don't know where Tommy's going, other than we know Kyrie's gonna be wrestling in Japan.
Yeah.
So fantasy book, but Kyrie and Tokyo Joshi Pro is very interesting because again, Shoko,
Yeah.
obviously Miyu Yamashita, Miyu
Mizuki.
Watanabe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, but I mean, who wouldn't want to see Kyrie coming out in a pirate ship versus Riku with the pillow? I mean, come on now.
And then Palm can drive the cardboard Tesla out.
They can or no, how
Yeah.
what if Palm drives the ship? What if she
Oh, but there
sails
he
the
goes.
ship?
And she has a big pirate hat on.
Oh, what if she's in the Bucky gimmick with the pirate hat on it?
She's Bucky Pirate. There we go.
Oh,
And
pirate Bucky.
the pirate boat has a Bucky's flag. There we go with the crossbones on. There we go. We're
Oh,
booking
I
the
tell you what,
territory.
we give out so many ideas.
You
We
have that
really
one, don't you, Joshi Pro?
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Andy Header, did you
Palm
by
Pirates. There we go. There's the name Palm Pirates.
ladies and gentlemen,
Just in our shirt.
Frohausen, do your thing. Internet, do your thing. Yeah.
And he's like, we first to buy one. Palm Pirates.
Yeah, I know. He'll do the pre-sale. Palm Pirates.
Palm Pirates.
Yeah, Frohausen sent a picture. I think he tagged you and Rob in it with
I have to look.
Hiromu Takahashi and Tam, and he was trying to get somebody to superimpose my face over at Hiromu Takahashi's from a. I think it was. I'm sure I have the cover. I think it was like 2 years ago. The cover of a weekly pro wrestling magazine. I'm sure it's if Tam was on a cover of a magazine
You
that I had
have it.
access to buy. I definitely haven't. Andy
Oh.
had another really great show. I didn't see the whole show, but one that kind of slipped under the radar during JoshiMania week was the Pro Wrestling Eve show that had a
Hmm.
mini tournament to crown the number one contender for Chris Statlander's Pro Wrestling Eve Championship. Did you by chance get to see this tournament or this show?
I did not. I know you told me it was. You gave me a link and said it's live now. I thought it was going to happen, so I have to watch that, but I did not get to see it yet.
So the mini tournament was Shoko Nakajima versus Holly Barrow, who I've never seen before, and then Miyu Yamashita versus Alice Inc. The winner of those two matches would wrestle each other in the finals to be the number one contender. And again, just because of everything going on, that I forgot the show was happening until people were messaging me saying it's Shoko Nakajima versus Miyu Yamashita in the finals of this. I was like, oh boy, howdy.
Mm.
I watched Shoko versus Holly, who I've never seen before. Phenomenal match.
Mm.
Really, really great. And then I've seen Allison quite a bit. She actually wrestled in Stardom a few years ago. She wrestles a very Shuri style. They actually put her as a satellite member of God's Eye, very strike heavy, and she's wrestling Miyu Yamashita. So I'm like, this will be my
Oh.
jam. It was good, very good. My expectations were really high, and
Hmm.
they just didn't hit it. It just
Hmm.
seemed like some of their timing was a little bit off, which you'll have when you
Yeah.
wrestling somebody from a different country. It still was really good, don't get me wrong, my expectations were really high. That made then the main event, Miyu Masha versus Shoko. My expectations were really high. It was really good. It's Miyu and Shoko. Wasn't as good as their match in Texas.
Texas.
How yeah, I mean, still really good, but spoilers. So Miyu wins. So in June, we do have Chris Statlander versus Miyu Yamashita in Pro Wrestling
Ooh,
Eve. So
that should be pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chris Statlander, later on today, as of this recording, Chris Statlander is teaming up with Hikaru Shida to take on Megan Bain and Lena Cross,
Hmm.
the Divine Dominion, for those tag belts, Andy Header. So a lot to look forward to
Yes.
after we get done recording tonight, buddy.
Hmm. Definitely for sure. I don't think we'll see new tag champions, which would be a very good match.
Brawling Birds are back in action. So Jamie
Hmm.
Hayter
I
and
like
Alex
them.
Windsor. Yep. So we don't know. It's going to be probably a squash match. Maybe the inspiration again. Kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding. Kidding.
The current Tokyo Joshi Pro tag team champions.
And did you see who Okada's wrestling tonight?
No, I didn't. Who is he wrestling?
Our buddy Ace Austin.
Really? Wow, good for him. Good for Ace. That's awesome. We were on many shows with Ace.
Yeah, Ace was a local talent. He trained at the Samoans in Allentown, so right by
Hmm.
us. We watched him break in. He put the work in. So I wasn't shocked that he went to New Japan to do Best Super Juniors. Wasn't shocked that he got that big TNA contract. We're not shocked at all that he signed with AEW, and not shocked at all that he's wrestling one of the best wrestlers of this or any generation,
Hmm.
Kazuchika Okada. And it's not like it's some like indie show. It's like AEW TV. Like, and their
Yeah.
numbers are up. They're doing almost 1 million viewers, on TNT. So that's awesome. So again, obviously, I'm excited for Cheetah and Statlander versus the Divine Dominion, Lena Cross and Megan Bain. But really excited for our buddy Ace Austin to be wrestling one of the best wrestlers of this
Hmm.
generation and
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada live on TV. In the words of Dusty Rhodes, Andy Header, go ahead, say it.
I don't know.
Live and in living color. Come
Oh, and
on.
alive and living color. I was looking at. I was like, living on the end of a lightning bolt.
That too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too.
Like a
Yeah, live
bicycle.
and living color bicycle. We're making major motion pictures, pal.
Yeah. Real quick, Andy, we're just going to fire through some of these before we get into our two show reviews and then do our predictions for at the end of this show. Did you by chance get to see Julia versus Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown?
I did not. I know who won though. I know Tiffy won the belt back. So Julia, but she had one defense and she lost. So Julia's not been used the best on WWE.
I will say this, good sir, when you give Julia time in the ring, she's really good. Like, I'm watching
Yeah.
this match and I was like, this is the Julia we love. This is great. Maybe Tiffy. I obviously I don't watch everything WWE.
Yeah,
Maybe
me either.
Tiffy's best match, but this match got time. It was really good. I gave it 4.25 stars.
Wow.
Really excellent stuff. I mean, just Julia being Julia, very hard hitting. Like, Tiffany brought it to Julia,
Hmm.
which means that Julia was going to bring it back. So obviously we didn't
Hmm.
get a full Stardom Marigold Julia pile driving people through
Yeah.
tables, but still like very hard hitting. When you get a chance, definitely check it out. I
Have to
didn't get a
watch
chance
it.
to see Io and Becky. I will be watching that for Io and Kyrie watch later on this week, but I heard Io and Becky on Raw was really good. And then Mariah May, she's getting called up to, I believe,
Hmm.
SmackDown. Blake Monroe, so that's really good on her. Good for her, my friend. Where do you see? What do you think they're going to do with the former Mariah May, Blake Monroe on SmackDown?
That's what did she, do you know if she lost her North American title yet?
She
Or
must. I don't
I
think
think
she's
she
the
still
North
has it.
American champion. Does
Oh,
she?
she's not. I don't know. Oh wait, she doesn't. She had a title that someone gave her. She wasn't the actual champion. She had like a fake title. It was like half red and half white.
Oh,
Yeah,
the $1 million champion, kind of.
yeah. Basically, she had it. Yeah. So in my mind, she was still the champion. But yeah, it's. I don't really know. It's. I don't know how to call Blake Monroe on SmackDown, where they'll put her. Again, I don't watch the product that much, so I don't really know who's on SmackDown, who's on Raw. Do you have her go right against Charlotte? If Charlotte's on SmackDown. I know they have Charlotte and Alexa are still doing the tag team thing, but I don't know what they'll do with Blake. Yeah, obviously she's gonna be heel, so maybe they just push her right away to go against Tiffy. I don't see her winning the belt from Tiff right away, but that could be. But it'd be cool to see Blake Monroe. I still call her Mariah May all the time, so Mariah May. I hope she does well there. I know she's been posting some stuff like that, and now she's in WWE, and like she's they care about more about women's wrestling, which I'm like, you were kind of in the main event and the main storyline in the company last year, and now you're kind of not. But hey, all the best for Mariah May. We hope so. I don't know where she'll go here, but I hope she does good.
Real, I'm actually meant to text you. This is completely off topic. Not really. It's wrestling related. Do you? I know you're a big Alexa Bliss fan. Do you have the
Mhm.
Alexa Bliss pop where she's like the Wyatt and the Wyatt gear?
Yes, so there's actually two of them. There's
Oh,
one, yeah, so there's her normal like uh with the dress on, and she has like the black on her face, right? But then you remember at WrestleMania when Bray was still alive, and she came out with her hair in like a bun type thing when like she had all the blood, like black blood running down her. There's that. That's the chase of that version. So there's that. Oh, there's actually three. I lied. There's a chase. There's the one with the dress, and there's one with the dress with different face paint.
okay. Because when I was leaving my comic shop, I was looking at the pops and they had that one. I'm like, I wonder if Header has it. And I'll text them. And I forgot. So okay, so you
That's
have
okay.
it.
Hey, I
You
have to
don't
show
need
you.
it. Okay.
Yeah, they're up in the upstairs room. So I'm like, boom, boom, boom.
I didn't even know it existed. And so I was just like, I wonder if Header has this. I was like, if not, I'll buy it for him. So you already have
No,
it. All
thank you.
right.
Yeah, and then
No,
there's
no,
the her
no problem.
her NXT pop too.
No problem. I did make. I'm probably gonna make mention this when myself and Rob record the Marigold Standard, which we're doing tomorrow. This recording. I think the way that Julia, how aggressive she was, I think a Julie and Rhea Ripley program would benefit both
Mm,
of them. So I think
yeah.
that's the way they'll go. She'll get a big championship program. Rhea's gonna be. Rhea's a great wrestler, but she's the best when she's wrestling the Joshis and obviously
Hmm.
she's had great series of matches with Charlotte. So I think that's the way they go. Yeah, where they go with Blake Monroe, Mariah
Maybe
May,
Jade,
maybe. Well,
Mariah and
yeah,
Jade.
yeah. Oh, that's a possibility.
Mm,
Yeah. Hmm. I think maybe they could turn Blake Mariah babyface because there's a
yeah,
lot of heels on
there is.
SmackDown.
Yeah, it's heavy.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll stay tuned for it. Let's see. Oh, let's go to NXT. Raven Leverkusen, now known as Lizzie Rain,
Hmm.
made her debut. She basically said that her finisher is a version of Meiko Satomura's Scorpion Rising, but instead she uses the knee. Told Bubba Ray Dudley it took her 10 minutes to perfect the move, and she calls that finisher the Thunderstruck. So
Hmm.
shout out to former Sendai Girls champion Lizzie Rain having a successful debut on NXT, my friend.
Yeah, I watched it. It was a pretty good match for a successful debut. She took on Nikita Lyons, who's been in NXT forever, but really looked good. She did the thing in the corner where she's kind of like a little Ryo Mizunumi with the chops in the corner, but then she was doing do do do, and they're like Lizzie Rain, Lizzie Rain.
That's awesome.
I was like that's kind of cool. And then she started doing that. And she did this real cool thing where she evaded like a clothesline, but then hit a cutter, and that looked really cool. And then her finisher looks awesome, and the Thunderstruck, obviously an ACDC reference. The crowd was into her. She looked really great. The only qualm I had is her music. For being a heavy metal girl, come out and say metal will never die. Her music was more Van Halen than it was Iron Maiden. And hey, Van Halen's great, but I wouldn't call Van Halen heavy metal. Hard rock, sure. Van Halen's really good, but is it metal? I don't think so. So they got to maybe change her metal, but hey, it was her first appearance, but she looked really good here. The Rain Leverkusen now, Lizzie Rain. The match is free on YouTube, so just type in Lizzie Rain NXT debut and it'll come up. It's about 7 minutes, but her finisher looked great. Just try to put the Booker T commentary. Try and ignore that because that's really bad. But hey, the match is good for her. I'm glad that she's getting used here in the states, and I think like from all that, there seems to be a little bit of buzz for one Rain Leverkusen, now known as Lizzie Rain.
And hitter, before we get into these two shows, we're going to save the best news segment for last. Finally, it's available to watch.
Hmm.
Cork and Hall, Kenta Kobashi produce three-way dance, maybe the three best Joshis going in the game today. Sai
Hmm.
Kamatani versus Shiro Hashimoto versus Suri. I know there was some rumblings that it was going to be available. People started posting the little videos, and I was like, how are we watching this? And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was simple. Send it over to you. I watched it right away. Andy had, I'm sure, very much like me, I dropped everything. I literally dropped everything, watched it. I'm sure you weren't that far behind. My guess is, I hope I'm right because I'm putting you in a bad spot. You watch this match, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Obviously, we don't have to go through blow by blow of it because I
Yeah.
want to watch it again a second time. This was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
this was great.
It was really good. You know, I was thinking sidebar here. Maybe we'll do for the first time for Patreon, we'll do an alternate commentary of this match with us. So that's an idea.
That's a
So that
great
should be,
idea.
yeah.
The only thing is, it is on Daily Motion, so there'll be ads. So we'll just,
Oh yeah, that's right.
which
So
is
maybe we
fine. We
yeah.
can talk through the ads, or we can even put over the ads. Like, oh, tires. We'll do
Yeah,
that.
it was the same ad some guy with a mullet and stuff I got for Juicy Fruit or some gum. I got that ad like 3 times in a row, but I didn't even think of that. But yeah,
You know
good
what?
idea.
I'm all for that. I am all for that. Let's figure that out maybe sometime next week. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
figure. Yeah,
But
love
anyway,
your idea. Look at
there
this.
we go.
We're
That's what
doing
I was thinking during the
booking on air. But
yeah.
well, then I guess we'll save majority of that for our Patreon members for a watch along. But I just kind of hit the beats, Andy Header. I mean, you knew it was going to be great.
Yeah,
This is
that's
great.
as soon as I waited till I got home and then I watched the match. It was really good. I mean, I like how Saya bails out and then kind of lets Sari and Chihiro do some of it, and then Saya gets back and they just kind of beat the hell out of her. And then it's out in the crowd, it's back in. Momo's involved. Chi Chi's kind of involved. I like the certain spot that they go up and get the crowd to do. That was really cool. And they come in, and then there's the power bombs, and at the end it's a time limit draw, which for three of the biggest, Joshi, how do you really end it? Who goes over? So smartest way. Plus, you want to see the match again. So yeah, a great match. It's on Daily Motion. Just type in Sari versus Chihiro versus Saya Kamatani. It should come right up. And it's a great match. It's 30 minutes. It's really good. And hey, Kenta Kobashi, who knows if he'd be Booker of the Year booking this one?
I liked it how when they Suri and Kamatani were fighting in the right by the announcer's table, and Kamatani took a drink of Kabashi's water and was staring at him in the face, and Kabashi was like,
Yeah.
he was pissed. He's like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, because it seems like it's every one of these Kenta Kobashi shows, Kobashi usually chops somebody, which is
Hmm.
always Minoru Suzuki. I was like, what if Kamatani's gonna get it? Because when they did the press conference, Kamatani took a
Yeah.
chop from Kobashi. So I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen there. There was this little segment that they did when Momo kept interfering, that Suri and Hashimoto, who are the baby faces match, started beating up on. They did a dual submission. They did a dual
Yep.
octopus. So maybe somewhere we get Hashimoto and Suri versus Kamatani and Momo Watanabe.
That would be real good. That'd be nice. Maybe a surrealism, perhaps. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you can book that anywhere. They really, really can. Again, I thought the match was great. When I know I
Hmm.
mentioned it to you on the show when they booked that match months ago, I'm like, this is the easiest time limit draw to figure out. And I know, like, there's
Yeah.
like one or two people like, I can't believe we went to a time limit draw. I'm like, who do you think was doing the job? Kamatani before she's wrestling in front of 8,000 people. Hashimoto, who is just maybe the wrestler of the year in all of wrestling. Suri, who's getting on a plane and an hour to go to wrestle in the state. Like, no, I don't want to see anybody, and it's at a Kenta
Yeah.
Kobashi produced show. So whoever takes the pin or whoever gets the pin, who does that benefit? This is a one time a year
Yeah.
show. So of course this is going to a draw. I thought it'd be a 20-minute TLD, but the fact this went 30 minutes
30.
and didn't feel like 30 minutes,
No.
great.
No, when that bell rang, I was like, oh, we're there already? Wow. That went fast. And plus, Chihiro was Sendai Girls champion at the time. Saya was Stardom Red Belt champion. So you had a lot of titles involved. So, yeah, no winner, no problem because it was a great match.
And Cerise, champion of the people. Andy
Yep.
Header, I would have that. I'm gonna have to watch that one back, but just for and we'll do when we do our watch along or alter or whatever we do, we'll give
Hmm.
another star rating on it. But I had it 4 3/4 stars. Let's say you. Where do you think you were on the first watch?
That's probably where I put it. Four and a half, 4 and 3/4. Not quite 5 stars, but it was very, very good.
Think about all the great matches Hashimoto's having. We're going to talk about two of them just in a
Hmm.
little bit. Suri had that match, and then I rated her match with Spark Rush versus Johnny Robbie and Miyamoto 4.5 stars. That which would happen technically the same day. That's not up yet to watch, but I know the West Coast Pro show with her Miyamoto versus Johnny Robbie, that is on YouTube, as
Mhm.
well as Pandemonium Pro with Natsupoi versus Johnny Robbie. So I might be doing like an alternate commentary audio only on those,
Mm.
but a lot of bonus content coming your way, folks. So Andy Header, good sir. Let's fire through these three shows, and then
Mhm.
we'll do Women of Honor, and not much there, but then we will get towards our preview and
Please.
predictions for the two shows. So we're going to go to Shinjuku Face on the 24th of April, Tokyo Joshi
Mm.
Pro. We start off Kira Summer versus Satora Hattori. Am I saying that right? Sakura.
Sakura. Yeah, or Sakura.
Sakura Hattori. Hattori. Again, Kira James, she just seems better and better each and every
Mhm.
match. I thought Hattori looked really, really good. I think she's getting better timing down with like the things she's doing in between moves
Mhm.
and the actual moves. But Hattori getting the win here with the form smash into the arm triangle for a tap out. I had this at 3.25 stars.
Yeah, this match, a solid opener. There was nothing really blow away here, but they, for an opener, it really doesn't have to. Both looked good. Sakura keeps racking up the wins, and I've been saying she's probably gonna get International Princess title shot somewhere down the road because she's undefeated as Sakura Hattori. I mean, she does have that match that maybe Kick Slash coming up. So, yeah, fine opener. Kira looks great. Sakura looks great. The top rope thing, she's doing a little bit faster, but still takes a little bit too long. So maybe she'll get there. But yeah, 3.25 stars is a good rating. That's probably where I'd be right about for this match too.
Sakura actually did have a shot at the International Princess title in Las
Well,
Vegas.
that's right. That's right. I you know what? I did not see that show yet.
There's a lot going on, Andy Header. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of Joshi to talk about. Match number 2, Mahiro teaming with Bumping Gritters, Shino Suzuki and Himawari to take on the team of Riku, Palm Harajuku, and Mifu Ishida. Mifu Ishida, Riku, and Palm Harajuku. Bucky, send your checks to
Mm-hmm.
them. They look great. But Mahiro, out of all people, getting the win with the spine buster on Mifu Ishida. Wouldn't have seen that coming, but I enjoyed this. You had your comedy, your actual wrestling. They were able to really tie things together. 3.25 stars for me.
Yeah, I thought this one was a lot of fun. I did like that they go out into the crowd and they try and do the Bucky attack that Mifu calls for, where they, try and run and the other ones, but it doesn't really work out and kind of helps the other team and doesn't really help Team Bucky, as we'll call him. But that was pretty good. Hey, no one loves Bucky quite like Tokyo Joshi Pro does. But yeah, Mahiro hit the spine buster to Mifu, 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. A fun match, and I wrote down the TJPW girls, they love Bucky's. So three. I actually really liked it. I give it 3.5 stars.
Ah, there you go. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of Himawari and Shino Suzuki. I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to see them get a title shot somewhere, especially
That's
if
it.
Daydream, especially, and we'll get into it, especially Daydream do
Sorry.
walk out Monday
Yeah.
as the tag champion. I think that'd be really good V1, V2
Mm-hmm.
for Bumping Gritters. But again, we shall see. Match number 3, Chika Nanas versus Kamiyu, Yuki Kamafuki.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another great showing here for Chika Nanas. I know me, you, and Andy Zyke, we talk a lot on texting who the early favorites are to either make a run or win the Tokyo Princess Cup. Wouldn't be shocked if you see Kamu make it to the semifinals or even
Mm.
finals because she's somebody that they're doing a great job building up. She gets a lot of eyes on her because she's so charismatic and a great wrestler. Again, I thought Chicken and Nas, even in a loss here, looked really good. But Kamu getting the win with the famous another 3.25 star match for me.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I thought Kamiyu looks good. And what if it comes to the finals if it's Kamiyu on one side versus Wakana on the other side? A little Uber Eats explodes because it seems like they haven't been tagging since they lost the tag titles. So could be here. But yeah, another fine. I would call it a house show type match where it's like nothing too crazy, but everything's solid. Everything's good. Chica looks good here. It's gonna be interesting to see where they go with Chica. Do they kind of keep her and Kira the established tag teams? Do they get a name? Do they go with that? Do they do singles? Who knows here? But one thing maybe tipping it off, but Kamiyu's hair looked really good here. A lot of body, a lot of waviness here. So yeah, 3.25 stars for this one.
Did she use Pert Plus? Andy had her.
She
Remember from
might, she
those old
might have used
Saturday
her
Night's Main Event
plus.
commercials?
Yeah,
Pert Plus, and they would always
yeah.
point to it. I was like,
The
wonder
herbal
whatever happened.
essences.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever happened to Pert Plus?
I don't. Is that still available? I'm gonna go to the grocery store and look there next time I go to the
You
grocery store.
find out. Find out. I don't buy my
Yes.
shampoo. Amber
Yeah.
does. Yes.
Sir, do you have Pert Plus? What? you know.
I wonder if the Pert Plus would sponsor the show.
Maybe Pert Plus, and then we'll just have like hair. There's another Tokyo Joshi Pro shirt, the Pert Plus. If we can get Bucky's and Pert Plus.
No, I mean us, Talk Joshi.
Oh, there we
Pert
go.
Plus.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
know what? Since it's Talk
Put a logo behind
80s,
me.
I'll write them a letter instead of sending emails out. I'll write them a handwritten letter.
We'll build up to send a fax.
Oh, or page
Yeah.
beeper.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Is
Yeah.
this place pager friendly?
Oh, jeez.
And yet, of all these matches and shows from JoshiMania week, as we're dubbing it, this match might have been the one that overachieved the most. Mizuki and
Hmm.
Uda Takami, who were great as a team, versus Shion Kanzaki and Ren Kanatsu. Boy howdy, Shion getting better, especially when she's in the ring with the Mizuki and main eventer. And Ren
Hmm.
Kanatsu out of nowhere, one of the most improved wrestlers in this company over these first 4 months of this year. This was great. Like Mizuki and Uda, again, as a tag team, I would like to see them get a big run as champions. Again, I still think it's going to be Daydream, and I got no problem with Miyu and Rika having a 7 year run with those belts because
Yeah.
they're great. Speaking of which, but thanks everybody that voted, as our tag team spotlight will be Daydream, Miyu
Mm.
Watanabe, and Rika Tatsumi. So that'll be in your feeds over the next few weeks. I thought Shion and Ren here as a tag team worked really well together. If this is
Yeah.
the what they're going to go to as a team, as we're kind of building more teams, I think it's a great spot for Shion, great spot for Ren. Shion is only wrestling a few months. I think Ren debuted last January. So
Hmm.
they're combined, it's like 16, 17 months. They were great. Mizuki gave them a lot. You can tell
Hmm.
when you're watching this match towards the end, Mizuki probably put a lot of the stuff together to make it make sense and get the most out of Shion and Ren. I thought Shion and Ren were again phenomenal as a team. Mizuki and Uda kind of stole the show at the Max Heart tournament a few months ago. However, it is the crossface from Mizuki to Shion getting the tap out. I said, brother, I love this match. 4 stars for me. I was completely
Wow.
blown away by how great this was.
This match was really good, and I wrote fast-paced tag match, lots of action. Yeah, Shion and Ren both looked really good here. There was one spot where Mizuki and Uda they switched places for a backslide. I was like, I've never seen that before. Like I think Mizuki had, and she switched with Uda. I'm like, wait, what? It looked really cool. I've never seen it before. It was very unique, very cool. But finally, Mizuki gets the sliding drop kick, the top rope crossbody, locks on the crossface. Shion taps out, but hey, no problem losing here. Shion looked really good. Ren looked really good. Everyone looked really good. The only problem is Uda and Mizuki. They need a tag team name. I'm sure they'll come up with some wacky name eventually. But yeah, I didn't have quite four stars. I had 3 3/4. But yeah, a great tag match.
I think we thrown a couple of things out, like the ice cream rabbits or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that. I think yeah,
yeah.
we thrown a couple of things out there. So and then we can have like Mizuki come out with, instead of the, like, she'll have the Pico Pico hammer, but it'll be shaped like an ice cream cone.
There we
Like,
go.
who wouldn't remember the foam fingers you'd buy back in the
Yeah,
day? Come on. I mean,
it's a big ice cream cone.
why isn't any of these companies just hiring us for merchandising ideas? I mean, the kids would love that. And you know who would love that if they did a show in the States? Yeah, I can see Andy Zyke in the front row with a Pico Pico hammer with the ice cream cone on it. And then it says
Yeah,
Bucky's on it. I come on.
Bucky's. There we go.
Or,
The
or,
Koala Crutch brought to you by Bucky's.
or on one side Bucky's, the other side Pert Plus.
There we go. Her plus. I remember the green logo with the lines. It probably has
Pert
been
Plus.
out of business for 20 years.
I still
Pert.
might write them a letter. Semi-main event: Wanaka Uehara and Toga taking on the team of Daydream, Miyu Watanabe, and Rika Tatsumi. Kind of figured we knew what this match was going to be. Just Daydream, building themselves back up since Miyu's loss of the Princess to Princess Championship back last month. And of
Mhm.
course, they'll be taking on the Inspiration next week for the Princess of Princess Tag Team Champions. I liked how, and again, this is Shinjuku Face. This is where we all had all the Suriism shows, which we used to make a joke that it's in Suri's contract when she books this building that she has to jump off one of the tables in
Mhm.
Shinjuku Face. I like how early in the match Daydream go for the Daydream elbow. They don't
Oh
hit
no.
it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's weird, because usually they hit it and it gets a big pop, but then they do it on the Suri diving
Hmm.
table. I was like,
Yeah.
they got the most out of that spot. I love this match. I think Toga's another one gonna have a breakout year. Wanaka Uehara, you said it, buddy. I mean, her as a singles run, I can see maybe her and Suzumi. Maybe if Suzumi does retain on the show next week, which we'll get into, maybe Wanaka is the next challenger.
Yeah. Let's see
Wouldn't
that.
say no to that, but I thought Wanaka here was great. Her power off stuff with Miyu Watanabe was terrific. Toga, breakout star in this company, and Miyu and Rika as a tag team is really next level. However, it is the Daydream backbreaker cutter combination, which I don't know the name of. I think Andy's like told me. I
Yeah.
forget what it is. For the 3 count, 4 stars for me. This is my second favorite match from the show. I thought this was great.
Yeah, I thought this match was really good too, and it does feel like Daydream is going to be a team for a while. I wonder why. It's almost like they're going to get a title shot and maybe win the tag titles. Yeah, their finisher is cool. I wrote down like a magic killer neck breaker kind of deal going
Ooh,
on
good
here.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it It's a really cool move here. Toga looks great. I like her new gear. She looks really good. Rakan looked good. Everyone looked good here. I like the part with the double submission with the banana peel on Rika and like the headlock that Toga had on Miyu. That was really cool here. The giant swing on Toga was awesome. Then finally that neck breaker magic kill, whatever it's called. Andy's like probably yelling at his listening device right now. It's called blah 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 blah. But 1, 2, 3 on Toga. That's all she wrote. I gave this one 3 3/4 stars too. But this was a very solid tag match, and Daydream getting some wins on their way to the title belts.
I think so. Again, we'll,
Hmm.
we shall talk about that at the very end of this episode. And Header, we go to the main event. We see probably the best tag team in this company, Suzumi and Arisa Endo,
Hmm.
taking on Yuki Arai and Haru Kazushiro. I thought this is genius, easy booking. We got the big show in Korakuen Hall coming up. You have basically the champions and the challengers. Obviously, Suzume is defending the IP title against Haru, and obviously Yuki Arai is defending the Princess of Princess Championship against Arisa Endo. Now, when they announced that five-way dance for the number one contendership for the IP title, we thought it could be anybody. We thought like Himawari, Shino Suzuki, maybe Uda. And Haru won. And I be honest with you, if I had a list 1 through 5, she probably would have been 4 or 5 on the
Yeah,
list.
I agree.
Um, and I was like, okay, she'll have a great match. She's a really good wrestler. She's wrestling Suzume. Suzume could have a great match with anybody. This will be a nice shot in the arm for Haru. Haru wrestled this tag match as if she needed to prove she belonged in the main event. Yuki
Hmm.
Rai is great. Obviously, Suzume and Arisa Endo, phenomenal. Haru was on another level. And I literally, when I got done, I literally like put down my pad like this and was like, just when I think the most improved wrestler in this company is going to be Himawari or Toga or Uda or Ren, here comes Haru. Big championship match coming up. She's phenomenal in this match. Now, again, as
Hmm.
great as Daisy Monkey are, they can carry anybody to a great match. But to be this good, you have to do it on your own. Haru was phenomenal. If the main crux of this match was, and probably is, to get you more excited for those 2 championship matches coming up next week, it's did its job. Like, I'm
Hmm.
excited for Endo and Yuki Rai. They had a great match. I believe it was in the semifinals. It was the semifinals of the Princess Cup last year. Well, obviously, Endo loses to Miyu. So I'm really excited for Yuki Rai and Arisa Endo, but Haru upped her game here, and Suzume made sure that she got there. So again, as excited as I was for this show coming up on Monday, after this match, I'm even more excited. This was one of my favorite matches of this week, which is saying something because I think there was like 80 matches I
Yeah.
watched, and that was just on the Stardom show. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
4.25 stars, brother. This was phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love this match.
This was a great main event, great tag match, and yeah, like you said, it did build towards the international princess title shot and the Tokyo princess title shot here. I mean, by wanting to see Arisu go for the belt and Haru go for the belt, Haru looked great here. There was a part where it was a double springboard where Suzume and Haru both run and then springboard at the exact same time, and Suzume gets the face crusher. It looked awesome. It was like perfect timing. I was like, how to even do that? Like I've seen people springboard just one person and they mess up, but 2 people springboard at the same exact time. Perfect timing here. Looks great. And then it was the ring a bell on Haru. Yuki made the save. I bit right there. Capture pin for near fall by Haru, and then the step of facebuster and the running ring a bell to Haru 1, 2, 3. Suzume pins her. Like, is that what's gonna happen in our title match? Probably. But a great match here. I had just a little bit. I gave 4 stars even, but yeah, a great match and it build towards both title shots equally. And you want to see both people go after the belt now.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff.
Hmm.
And you had it before we get to these 2 Sendai Girls shows. Obviously, Haru had, I'm going to say she had better gear than her tag gear.
Hmm.
However, did she have the best gear of the show? You're about to tell us. And who
Hmm.
had the best hair? So Andy had her. Dun, dun, dun. Who had the best hair and best gear from the show from Shinjuku Face?
Well, I hinted at it before. The best hair has to go to Yuki Kamifuki here. Her hair was full of body, very flowy, very long. It looked great here. Best her hair has ever looked, I would say, at least as long as I've been watching. Best gear, I believe she had new gear yet again, and that goes to our current Princess champion Yuki Arai. She had some new red, white. All her gears red, white, and blue. It looked new to me. It was the new kick pads and everything. I was like, I think that's new gear, and it looks really good. So best hair, Yuki Kamifuki Kamiyu, and best gear, Yuki Arai. So the Yukis win both here.
Maybe Yuki Rai got more new gear with that championship bonus that she
Yeah, there
got.
she yeah. The
Uh,
champion gets more gear. Yeah.
That's it. Absolutely. Like she's getting that Starlight Kid money. I still have no idea. Like, no idea. I mean, how Starlight.
Yeah.
Bushiroad
New gear
pumping
all
her
the
all that
time.
money. New gear every time.
Yeah,
She looks great.
always a new mask. Always.
Yeah, I tell you, she's a special talent, that Starlight Kid. And here, let's go to Sendai Pit. Let's go to the Sendai Pit. Sendai Girls, the 19th of April. I do have to say, Mako Satomura retired. You see her at the beginning of every show.
Mm,
You retired. We just saw she got married. Like, still, like, what's going on with Tam? It's really
yeah,
weird.
yeah. That she's just
Yeah,
totally missing from the public eye.
yeah, odd. But it's always great seeing Mako Satomura come out. Still looks like she can kick everybody's ass, but she just seems so
Hmm.
happy. And again, it's an incentive for people to buy a ticket. The fact that Mako Satomura starts out the show, so
Yeah,
really, really cool. Andy had it. We start off with Stephanie Mays versus Yuna. We saw Stephanie Mays a time or two, I believe, at the last Sendai Girls show that
yeah.
we reviewed. I think that she's gotten better here. In the show, the next show interview was her
Hmm.
best outing yet. I don't know
Yes.
too much about her. I do a little research here. Obviously, Anita Vaughn, Sapphire Reed, which we're going to get into. They wrestle in Pro Wrestling Eve quite a bit,
Hmm.
so I knew their background. I thought Stephanie Mays and Yuna had a really good opener. Again, Yuna is the perfect spot for these openers. But Stephanie Mays getting the win here on a mainstay from Sendai Girls with that pop up knee into the spin kick. 3.25 stars for me. I really like the hard hitting nature of this match.
Yeah, this match was really good. Stephanie, we did see her once or twice before, and it seems like they're giving her a little bit of a push here. She gets the win here with that kick combo, and her spinning back kick looks awesome. So she does kind of have that MMA judo-y type of look here, kind of like a like a prize fighter, if you will, something like that going on. So she does kind of stand out. And then when she tags with Spike Nishimura, which gets to, she kind of fits in a little bit better right there. But yeah, I thought this match was very solid here. Yuna, opening match Yuna, as we like to call her, both these shows. She's back to that role, but that's no big deal when you have good matches. I just gave it 3 stars, even yeah, very good match, and it kind of seems like they're gonna put a little bit of steam behind Stephanie Mays.
Yeah, we'll see where they go from here. Match number two sees Zonaz and Uriah Suzuki taking on the returning Maria Koga and Hiro Matsumoto. Good seeing Maria Koga back. She was in the Jaja Uma junior tournament. I believe that was last year. I was thoroughly impressed with her. I think she wrestles for, I think I could be wrong. If I am, let me know. I think her mainstay is Seedling. I think that's kind of the
Okay.
main promotion. It's either that or Ice Ribbon. But I'm a big fan of hers. Good to see her back here. I thought Hiro they meshed really well. Uriah Suzuki, another young Joshi that has so much potential.
Hmm.
But we knew where this match was going to go, where it needed to go. Zonez and Hiro Matsumoto just absolutely tearing into each other. That was the main
Hmm.
crux of this match. But eventually, just too much Hiro Matsumoto onto your young Uriah Suzuki, making Uriah Suzuki tap out to her version of the Texas Cloverleaf. 3.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this was really cool, and I liked how it was like a powerhouse and a young, speedy wrestler on each side of the team, so they were evenly matched here. But then finally, they get the hoss fight between Hiroyo and Zones, which, and then you kind of see where Zones is going. So it kind of gets makes sense here that Zones locks on that submission here, and they get the win here. But yeah, I thought the match was really good. I gave it for 3.25 stars, but very good tag match.
Match number three, Sapphire Reed and Anita Vaughn, known as Adrenaline Rush, taking on
Hmm.
one half of Bob Bob Mama Banana and another half of Red Energy. So we have Banana Energy or Red Banana. What do you think, Indiana?
I like red banana a little bit. Red banana energy is good too.
Would you eat a red banana?
Yeah, would it be like strawberry flavored? Strawberry and banana in one? That'd be pretty cool. I'd go for
I
that.
was thinking like a Tabasco banana, but yeah, the
Oh, I
strawberry
like
makes
spicy
more
banana. Yeah,
spicy banana. That's what we're
spicy
calling
banana.
this. Spicy
Spicy
banana
banana.
versus
Why not?
Adrenaline Rush.
I mean, you can get
Sapphire Reed
spicy.
and Anita Vaughn. Sapphire Reed
Yeah.
and Anita Vaughn. I don't know if you know this, Andy Header. They actually are the next up for tryouts for WWE.
Really? Wow. Because after watching them, I said, it's not gonna be long before they go to WWE or AEW. Now, when I searched for them, it said their tag name was Hyperactive. Is that just the tag
Hyperactive.
name?
I'm sorry. You know what? And I
Oh
have
no.
that wrong. It's not these two. It is Maddie Morgan, Angel Hayes from Marigold.
Oh, okay.
I am
Okay.
so sorry. So
They're
thank
Adrenaline
you.
Rush. Yeah.
Once you said once you corrected me there, I'm like, I have something else wrong as soon as I said it. So the name of the team is Hyperactive. Yes, and it is Maddie Morgan and Angel Hayes that do have tryouts for WWE. But
But
Sapphire Reed,
still,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe these two do have tryouts because we do have some people that don't
I
announce
wouldn't be
them.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think these two as a team. Again, I've seen them in Pro Wrestling Eve. They were terrific here. Oka's phenomenal. Miyuka
Hmm.
Takase, she's terrific. This was really great. This is the one match I wish it would have had more time. I thought I got enough
Yeah.
time, but I think if they would have given 2 or 3 minutes extra, they would have been able to stretch out their falsies. But Sapphire Reed and Nidavon, they work like a daisy monkey. Their double team moves are so contrived that I was like,
Hmm.
how did they do that? The
On the
psychology makes
shoulders.
sense. Yeah, excellent stuff here. But is Anita Vaughn getting the win on Eureka Oka with they do their power slam drop kick combination for the 3 count, which I really enjoy. That's clearly their established finish. Three and
Hmm.
three fourth stars. This one just missed the 4-star ranking mark for me, but I thought it was terrific. And again, I love how super aggressive Takasi has been over the last few months. It really, like I said a few weeks ago, it does seem like Miko Wada's violence is rubbing off on Miyuka
Yeah.
Takase.
Yeah, and then Miyuki still keeps her charisma because she's very charismatic, and she has her funny side too. But yeah, she's a little more violent, a little more, but still charismatic here. This match was really good. First time I've ever seen Hyperactive. Didn't even know they exist, and I gotta say I'm a big fan. I think they're '80s synth music, so it's kind of like a females outrunners, but they're not goofy at all. Well, they're a little goofy. Great gear on them here. Yeah, their moves are really cool. The one with but Anita picks up Sapphire and like slams her down off the shoulders. That's really cool here. So they obviously have they've been tagging for a while and they have some cool tag moves. The finisher, I tried to find a name. If anyone knows and can let us know, I'm sure they have a name for it. It's probably '80s inspired here, but it's really cool. Sapphire Reed did have what she had a nuclear fallout symbol on her back and biohazard symbols on her knee pads and like slime on the front. I'm like that's really cool gear there. So, hint, hint, hint. But
Oh,
uh, Hyperactive look great. Miyuki and Eureka work really good as a team here, which is weird because it's Red Energy. It's Bob Bob Mom Banana. Red Energy Spicy Bananas, we call them, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, great match. I agree with you. Just a little bit shy of 4 stars. If it was a little bit longer, I'd give 4 stars, but I'd give it 3 and 3/4 stars.
yeah, really great tag match here. Match number 4, Miku Kunai versus Dash Chisako. Again, another great outing here for Miku Kunai, wrestling one of the mainstays here in Sendai Girls. We may mention it last week. Dash Chisako is such a great wrestler. We know she's kind of, her not pigeonhole, but like she leans more towards the hardcore stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
wild stuff that we've seen before. This was great. Excuse me, because we got to see Dash wrestle. Like this was
Mm-hmm.
just straight up wrestling, and she's really great at it. Miku Kanai, again, another one of these Joshi wrestlers that in a year or two are going to be to that next level. Dash Asako, though, getting the win with that her version of the Frog Splash, 3 and 3/4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this match was really good. It is interesting to see Dash just wrestle without weapons, which we've done this match and the next match. But yeah, Dash locks on the crossface, but then she gets out of it. Miku gets out of it. The close roll for Miku and a bit right there. I thought she was gonna win it, but then there's a suplex for her, followed by Dash and then frog splash. 1, 2, 3. I gave it 3.5 stars, but yeah, really good here, and Dash gets the win.
Match number 5, tag match I didn't want to see until I saw them in the ring. We have our tag champions in a non-title match, Ryo Mizunami and Manami, who really just gel so well
Mm-hmm.
as a team, taking on Mika Iwata and Chi Chi. Chi Chi, by the way, now looks like she's doing a few shots for Marigold. So it's
Mm.
going to be very interesting to see what brings up here with Chi Chi. I think that's a perfect fit for her in Marigold, and I think Marigold can use shot on the arm with somebody
I
that's got
agree.
a lot of buzz like Chi Chi. I thought Mika Wada and Chi Chi work really well together. I like them when they're across the ring from each other because of similar styles. But all this really worked. Ryo Mizunami, she goes from like great wrestler to comedic wrestler to hard hitting to really building up those falsies. She's very much like Nanai Takahashi, does a great job building up falsies and really
Mm-hmm.
gets the most out of it. Again, this was terrific, and I absolutely love this finish. Ryo Mizunami hitting a huge Larry and then a
Mm-hmm.
Uranagi to Mika Wada for the 3 count. This was phenomenal. This was great. And again, in a week that we saw so much great wrestling, especially in the Joshi scene, this one really stood out. 4 and 1/4 stars for me. I absolutely love this one.
Yeah, I thought this match was really solid for Chi-Chi and Mika, who are not a normal tag team, versus Manami and Ryu Mizunami, who yeah, really make a good tag team here. Let me go ahead. There was one part where it was the STO by Ro and then a float over pin by Nami. It looked pretty cool. So it was like boom, boom. I was like, ooh, that could be a finish right there. Right near the end, there was the jumping knee by Manami and then the clothesline by Rio and then that Unagi that looked awesome. Tamika, 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. Yeah, I give 4 stars even. A great tag match. And then Rio and Manami got most of the offense, which is a little surprising because Mika's on their side, but everyone looks strong and they look strong as the champions. And then see where we're going the next show, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I love towards the end when you had Mika Wada hitting that beautiful running knee strike and then
Hmm.
the return crush. And then I liked how she goes for the lightning thunder driver and Rio slips out. And as soon as she slips out, here comes Manami with the jumbo knee. And
Yep,
then
that
just
boom.
then Rio just hits the bomb after bomb,
Hmm.
puts away Miko Wada. So a great match with a really great closing stretch. When we see Rio Mizunami, especially in tag matches, she puts together that closing stretch like really, really good. It's really impactful and really cool looking. So again, big fan of Rio Mizunami because she gets the fun party started.
Hmm.
Andy Header. I don't
That's
know if
right.
you know that. We go to the main event. Speaking of fun, Spike Nishimura versus Chiro Hashimoto. We know eventually we're gonna get this Spike Nishimura Sendai Girls Junior Championship run. We know we're
Yes.
building towards it. We thought we were going to get it at the last Corkin show, but really seems like they're building towards it. Spike wanted to prove herself against Sendai Girls champion, against I think 6-time champion, one of the best wrestlers on planet Earth, one of the best wrestlers. Maybe if the year ended now, I think I vote Hashimoto as the overall wrestler of the year. She's
Mm.
having great matches in every single
Yeah.
company. And this was terrific. What I loved about it is Spike really went for it here. She went for the ground wrestling
Hmm.
and Hashimoto stuffed her. And then she went again, again, again. Eventually kind of almost got Hashimoto down a little bit. And with Hashimoto was like, huh, like you're feisty here. And I love like Spike really brought the fight to Hashimoto. She was throwing those forearms and those kicks. And I love it towards the end. You know Hashimoto is just going to steamroll her towards the end
Yeah.
because that would just make sense. But like Hashimoto's got to hit a lot of her moves. Like she just keeps getting up. Like Spike won't stay down. And Hashimoto's facial selling is just like, what more do I have to do to put Spike down? Eventually, she hits the big German, the big Larry, and the power bomb, putting
Hmm.
all of her 3 big moves in sequence to put away Spike. Great fire from Spike. Spike, even in a loss, in my opinion, got over and over to a great degree. 4.25 stars. I love this one.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought Spike got to show her strength here, and it was kind of like they were evenly matched, Chihiro and Spike here. And Spike a little bit taller than Chihiro, so and Spike had size too. So it was really good match here. There was one part where Spike got a seatbelt pin near the end. I was like, "Ooh, Spike's gonna win here." But then Chihiro kicks out and she hits that German lariat and the power bomb 1, 2, 3. But yeah, a very good match, a very good main event. I give it 4 stars even, and I'm curious to see where Spike goes. I mean, obviously we know who's going to challenge Chihiro next coming up in this next show, but very good match, very good main event.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Andy Header, before we go into the next Sendai Girls show from Shinkiba, who had the best hair and who had the best gear from the show?
No, I hinted at the best gear, and I had to say Sapphire Reed. Both a member of Hyperactive Gear was really good, but Sapphire Reed with the nuclear and the biohazard and stuff like that was really cool. Reminded me of my own gear, my Toxic Crusader gear. So yeah, Sapphire Reed gets best gear and best hair. Someone came out with a new hairdo, and it's Miko Wada. She came out and it was all poofy and fluffy. It kind of looked like a little bit of Tanahashi going on there. So Miko Wada gets best hair.
Oh, there we go, folks. Again, we will have a 3-way dance at the end of this. Who had the best
Ooh.
overall hair and gear for this episode of Talk Joshi? And here we go to our final show that we're going to review here before we get into the Women of Honor and as well as our preview and predictions for the big shows coming up early next week. So again, Sendai Girls, 24th of April, Shinkiba first ring, Zonaz taking on Yuna, opening match Yuna, a
Mm-hmm.
really fun match, but they really built up Zonaz a lot here towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Not a squash, but almost a squash. I'm like, huh, that's really weird. And then we find out why. But Zona is getting the win with an Indian deathlock into a guillotine choke. Really like
Mm-hmm.
that finish. 3.25 stars for me.
Yeah, I thought this match was really good. For this whole show, it's kind of sending goes, hey, let's turn up for this one. Let's give a killer show here. Even though it was kind of a squash here, opening match, Yuna, Zone's got a very strong win. Obviously, we know why she's going to challenge for the title. But yeah, I give it 3.5 stars. I thought it was really good.
Oh, here we go. And he had a match number 2, and I'm like, wow, what a match to put on match number 2. Mika
Yeah.
Wada, Miyuki Takase, one of my favorite tag teams in wrestling. Red Energy taking on the team of Miku Kanai and Veni. We know Veni and Mika Wada, man, when they go at it, they go at it. But Miyuki Takase was really bringing it here. I think she like
Mm-hmm.
took his own challenge. Was like, I want to be the hardest hitter in this match that has Veni and Mika Wada. We knew poor Mika Kanai is probably taking the L here, but she does a great job with the fire, the underneath baby face wrestler that she is. Great fighting spirit. Couple near falls here towards the end of the crowd really bit on. Eventually, those Miyuki Takase with almost like a twisting brain buster, putting
Yeah.
away Miku Kanai. This match, again, very much like the match we talked about a few minutes ago. I wish we would have had a little more time. Still 3.75 stars. I think another 2 or 3 minutes it would have did that 4 to 4.25 stars. But I'm a big fan of all 4 of these wrestlers. I thought they were terrific. And again, Red Energy getting a win here.
Yeah, Miku and Miyuki, their stuff looked really good here. The fast-paced stuff and all the kicks by Miku, I say Mika, sorry, Miku. They say your Yuki thing
Yuki
here.
Yuki Miyu Miyu Momo Momo
Yeah,
Saya Saya.
Miku and Mika. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Mika's straight kick, she has that big straight kick where it's like kind of like a super kick, but she holds it and kind of gives him a little more oomph when she does it. That looked awesome here. There's one part where Bunny did an eye poke to Miyuki and then hit her with a big boot. I thought that was pretty cool here. Big power slam to Miku by Miyuki, and then finally I wrote down spiral suplex to Miku for the 1, 2, 3 here, and a great tag match, lots of good spots, lots of good sequences. I actually give this one 4 stars, but yeah, a little more time and it could get a higher rating. I agree.
Yeah, again, Sendai Girls, they just throw like tag matches and it just works. I love Sendai Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, speaking of tag team champions, again, non-title match, Ryo Mizunami and Manami taking on Spike Nishimura and Stephanie Mays.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Mays in a high-profile match. And Ryo Mizunami's been one of the best Joshi wrestlers the last handful of years. Manami's another one, 2 or 3 years is on the cusp of being a big star anywhere
Mm-hmm.
she wants to go. Stephanie Mays really knew the scenario here and she really brought up her game. And again, credit to Rio and Manami giving Stephanie a lot in this match. You can kind of tell as they're building towards the end, Stephanie's going to take the finish because they're building her in the match. We say all the time, if you just beat somebody and you don't give them anything, who did you really beat? But they gave
Yeah.
Stephanie quite a bit. And whatever they gave Stephanie with, she ran. I thought she was terrific here. I was completely blown away by how great she was. Spike was great as well, but the spotlight was on Stephanie Mays. Eventually, it was just some great double teaming from the champs. That leaves the door open for Manami to hit that beautiful top rope splash, putting away Stephanie Mays. 4 stars for me, good sir.
Yeah, this match was really good. I thought Stephanie and Spike make a good tag team, so maybe that's something they could do further down the road, tag them up and have them get a couple of tag wins. But yeah, the ending, there was a suplex and a perfect plex by Stephanie to Manami. Looked pretty good, kind of like a three amigos, but just a suplex and then a perfect plex. There was a spear and then a meteora to Steph and then Spike made the save by no, Ryo and Manami there, and then Rio takes out Spike and then the big scream and splash to Stephanie 1, 2, 3. I thought Steph and Spike they look great here, and Steph fits right in Sunday Girls. And she doesn't look out of place at all. A great match. I'd probably give it 4 stars even too because it was a very good tag match.
And here we go to our semi-main event. And I'll tell you right now, this is my favorite match of these 3 shows we're going to review.
Yep.
Chihiro Hashimoto versus Eureka Oka. And whenever we see great tag teams, we're always like, this one's probably the clear better of the two, right? Sometimes they have a story poi where it's like it could be either or. But like
Yeah.
FWC, I think most of us think like Hazuki's the
Hazuki.
better wrestler. And then we have Bob Mo Banana. I love Eureka Oka, but most of us go to Miyamoto.
Mio.
Red
Yeah.
Energy, most Mika Watt. Again, you can like who
Mika.
you like, but that's pretty much who we go to. Eureka, again, this is just another great match in the catalog of Chihiro Hashimoto, especially this year. Eureka Oka was on another level here, and she
Mm-hmm.
needed to be like the dropkick assault. And again, Chihiro Hashimoto, who's physically bigger than Eureka Oka, like sells, like makes Oka get there. Like she makes her get there, and then you can see that like Hashimoto's on the back foot, and then you're like
Mm-hmm.
Hashimoto, and then you're kind of almost cheering for Hashimoto to make her come back on the lovable Eureka Oka. I thought this was great for so many different ways. Eureka Oka doing the La Mystica in the Fujiwara armbar. We've seen her
Mm-hmm.
do a time or two, but like it was really on the Izumi level here. Like that's Izumi's move. It's Izumi. Izumi is
Yeah.
arguably the most talented wrestler on planet Earth right now. And Oka's like it got there and Hashimoto's selling it. I'm like Hashimoto's a legit shooter. She should be able to get out. When she does, then Oka has a counter to it. Like Oka was
Mm-hmm.
really a step ahead of Hashimoto like this entire match. And Hashimoto was kind of on the back foot. Eventually, though, we get to the arm here where we do have Oka. I like how they build the Fujiwara, and then towards the end, she is able to put Hashimoto into the mousetrap pin, the seatbelt pin. And Hashimoto comes out. She has a big spear and then the huge lariat, putting away Eureka Oka. Again, this is maybe Oka's best match. I mean, there's some great stuff with Bob Moment Banana, but this is
Mm-hmm.
strictly Oka. I thought this was her best performance. Hashimoto, just another great match in her catalog. I just have 4.5 stars. I love this match. This was terrific.
I thought this match was really good too. Eureka looked great here. New gear. She got rid of that crappy uh,
Pajamas.
pajama gear that she had when she came out with Mia. Yeah, love them as a tag team, but that gear was not good. But yeah, this match was really good here. There was a superplex by Chihiro, and then a lariat for 2 count. I was like, ooh, and that's when it started really heating up. Eureka at one point fought out of the last ride, hit a backdrop to Chihiro, but then got Larry right back down. There was a part where Eureka did her airplane spin for a near fall. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Then she went up and she hit not one, but two Twisted Bliss, Furial Gift, whatever you to call it, only a 2 count for that part. This when the match really got going. The last 2 minutes of the match was just awesome. The La Mystica into the submission, then the capture pin, 1, 2, no, Spirit by Chihiro, then the big lariat, 1, 2, 3. Great match. It really looked like Eureka might win there, and you weren't cheering for Chihiro to come back. I'm like, I think Eureka's going to take it here, but Chihiro gets the win here. I gave it 4.25 stars, but yeah, this match was really, really good. And then Zone Ace come out to say that she wants to be the next challenger to Chihiro's title.
They're doing a great job lining up championship matches
Mm-hmm.
because we are going to get into who the next contenders are going to be for the Sendai Girls Tag Team Champions. We have
Mm-hmm.
Hyperactive, and I literally have right here Hyperactive, Anita Vaughn, and Sapphire Reed taking on the former champions of Dash Chisako and Hiro Matsumoto. This was great, and a lot of this was divide and conquer for Hyperactive. It's like we're
Mm-hmm.
kind of the new team here, and we've seen Dash and Hiro over the last few years. They team up quite a bit in Sendai Girls, and it was double team to Dash, double team to Hiro. So Hiro again, it was very divide and conquer, and obviously Hiro and Dash they really brought it there towards the end. But ultimately, where it just comes off here is just, and there was some great stuff with the need, and they did a great job, like pairing them off. Sapphire Reed is more of like the high speed technical
Mm-hmm.
wrestler. She had a great match with the Zumi back at that Eve during that Queendom week. But
Mm.
her and Dash kind of pair off, and then Anita and Hero because they're the kind of hard hitters. They pair off
Yeah,
here
the
towards
taller
the end.
ones.
But eventually, though, it is Hyperactive hitting that drop kick power slam combination, putting away Dash Chisako. And I was like, huh. Then we understand why, because obviously they're the next contenders for the tag team
Mm-hmm.
championships. Again, I've seen a handful of Anita Vaughn and Sapphire Reed in Eve. Here they're wrestling to Joshi, who are kind of just be on another level of everything. That's just the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job over these two shows, building them up. I'm really excited for Anita Vaughn and Sapphire Reed Hyperactive against Ryo Mizunami and Manami whenever that championship match is coming up. I'm sure Sendai Girls seems like every other day I wake up and they announce some crazy card that has like Miko Wada team with Hazuki because why
Yeah.
not? So I'm sure that match is probably coming up soon. 4.25 stars. I thought this was great. And again, they did a great job building up Zonas versus Chiro Hashimoto when they announced that, and then Hyperactive versus Ryo Mizunami and Manami. Again, whenever those matches are, obviously we'll be covering them right here on Talk Joshi
Mm-hmm.
on the World of Joshi Podcasting Network. Andy
There we
Header.
go. Cheap plug, cheap plug. But yeah, this match was really good. I'm really digging Hyperactive so far here. Then the Rainbow Ultimate Powers of Dash and Hero, you'll get the tag again. I like how Dash has her tag gear too. So she has her hardcore gear, she has her singles non-hardcore gear, and she has her tag gear. So that's pretty cool. There's one point where Hyperactive they did the classic cow tip, where so one of them stands behind him and then everyone just pushes him over. I was like, there we go, yeah, little old school elementary school prank there, the cow tip. So I like that. Um, there's the big fallaway slam by Anita to Hiroya where she's showing her power, walking around, hold her off, slams her back here. That's an go down. There's a Frankensteiner to Anita by Dash for a near fall that looked really good. Northern Lights near fall, yeah, to Anita by Dash. Anita hits the swinging slam, I'm going to call it. I didn't really know what to call it to Dash. It was very unique for a near fall. Then a pump handle slam plus the running Claymore like move, the finishing move. I don't know what's called. We'll find out. I tried to search for it, couldn't find out. Probably have to watch some pro wrestling matches, and I'm sure the commentary calls it. But yeah, 1, 2, 3. That moves all it takes. Hyperactive is real good and looking really strong going into the title shot against Manami and Ryo Mizunami. So yeah, I gave this one 4 stars even. But yeah, great match.
Really terrific stuff. Andy Header, before we close out this part of the show, who had the best hair and best gear on this show?
So best gear, nobody else had some new gear except for Sapphire Reed. So Sapphire Reed wins both here. She gets both gear on both of the Sendai Girls show. Best hair, I liked Yuna's dyed blonde underneath and brunette on top. It looked really good. So yeah, best hair, Yuna, and best gear, Sapphire Reed.
Folks, that gives us towards our three-way dances. So for best gear, who'd you have best gear for Tokyo Joshi Pro? It was Yuki
Yuki Rai.
Yuki Arai. Okay, so we have
Mm-hmm.
Yuki Arai versus Sapphire Reed versus Sapphire Reed. So three-way dance.
It's
Who
like
wins
Mortal
there?
Kombat. You know, you
Yeah,
select
mirror
the
match.
same person. Yeah, mirror match. Um, that's tough. You know, Sapphire Reed's gear is really nice. So is Yuki, but I think I like Yuki's just a little bit more. So Yuki beats both Sapphire Reeds.
Wow, look at that. Almost
Mm.
technically a handicap match. So
Yeah.
congratulations to the champion, Yuki Arai, not only
Hmm.
being the champion, but winning best gear on 3 shows.
The
On
most
3
coveted.
shows.
Yeah.
So big one, big one. Andy here. Now we go to our best hair. So we have Pert Plus's own Yuki Kamafuki Kamiyu
Plus.
taking on Mika Wada, taking on Yuna. So who
Ooh,
wins best hair there?
what a match there! But probably Mika would win that one. But best let's see, Yuka, or Yuna. I think we're gonna go with Yuki Kamifugi, so we're gonna give that to Cameo. So Per Plus, the Per Plus boot of the week. I don't like the Lugs boot of the week. Remember that? The Per Plus hair of the week. The best hair goes to Yuki Kamifuku, one Cameo.
You know, I just realized like with Uber Eats, you can order anything off there, kind of like DoorDash. So
Mm.
what if you order the burgers and then Per Plus?
I'm gonna look it up right now. When you do one honor, I'm just gonna type in Per Plus, see what comes up.
See what happens, buddy. See what happens. So there we go, folks. Those are the three shows. I'm kind of just going to run through the Women of Honor. As Andy had, we are on our way in about 3 weeks' time to Supercard of Honor. We do have
Mm-hmm.
Diamante taking on that show. She'll be challenging Deanna Perrazzo for the Pure Wrestling
Mm.
Championship. Commentating again, Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman did a great job mentioning how Diamante is using the Deanna Perrazzo armbar and the double Fujiwara armbar, the Venus de Milo, in most of her
Yep, very
matches. So she's
cool.
taking on Rachel Ellering, obviously Paul Ellering's daughter, in a pure wrestling rules match. And this is kind of 80-20 match. Just they're building Diamante up. Diamante uses a ankle lock and a Fujiwara armbar a handful of times in this match. Rachel Ellering quickly uses up all of her rope breaks, and then Diamante forces Rachel Ellering to tap out via the knee bar. And then after the bell, because Diamante, she's a heel,
Hey.
puts Rachel Ellering into the Fujiwara armbar, putting more steam on her championship match coming up in a few weeks' time for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship against one Deanna Perrazzo. And then we go to Billy Starks versus High End. This was great. Hard hitting, really great falsies, great chain wrestling to begin this match. Eventually, the match goes out to the floor. We do have Billy Starks hits an apron DDT. Back in the ring we go. High starts hitting it. She hits a big pump knee and a running Yakuza kick combination. High misses a corner boot. Billy Starks is able to hit a big knee to drop High. We go to the top rope, and then we have Billy Starks looking for the swanton because that's her go-to move. High stops that. High then hits a superplex into a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. We get several roll-ups, 2-1-2, 1-2, 1-2, back and forth. I always think that's a rib on the ref to blow
Yeah.
up the ref. Eventually, though, Billy Starks hits a DDT and then a swanton bomb for a 2 count, and then Billy Starks puts away High with her version of the Cesaro neutralizer. Basically, like
Ooh.
yeah, she basically looks like she's going for an underhook pile
Driver.
driver,
Yeah.
but instead she drops her on their face for the 3 count. 3 3/4 stars. A really great match. High is another one. I'm glad that she's on Ring of Honor TV. I think that's a great spot for her to kind of keep honing her skills when eventually it is her time to go up to AEW, whether it's in 6 months, a year from now, I don't know. But I'm glad it's High-End's matches are more accessible. So, and
Yeah.
again, Billy Starks getting a win, building herself up for that survival of the fittest match coming up for Supercard of Honor. Andy had a good sir. We are going to go through our previews and our predictions for coming up this Monday and this Tuesday. So again, I'm sure there's some great Joshi action happening during the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get done work on Monday, something to look forward to, and we get done work on Tuesday, something to come home to,
Yep.
my friend,
Yep.
is that some great professional wrestling action. So again, we're going to preview and predict these matches. So we're going to start off obviously with the show in Corkin Hall, Tokyo Joshi Pro, yes, Wonderland, Indie Header. My guess, the opener will be Shion Kanzaki versus Ren Kanatsu.
Mm-hmm.
Again, two of the most improved wrestlers in Tokyo Joshi Pro. We talked about how great they were as a team. Ren did get her first win over Shion a few months ago. Now they're running it back. Who do you see winning this one?
It could go either way, but if Ren won the other one, you think maybe Shion wins this, and then they have a third one. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ren won. But I think I'm gonna lean towards Shion win this one, and yeah, probably the opener.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shion getting the win here. And then we have, I completely forgot. Yuri is back in Tokyo Joshi Pro. She's teaming
Mm-hmm.
with Wanaki Uehara and Kiara Summer to take on bumping gritters of Himawari, Shino Suzuki, and Chika Nanas. So we have Chika Nanas and Kiara Summer
Yeah,
on
on opposite
opposite
sides.
ends. I wonder if we're gonna see something there. Cool seeing Yuri in here. I'm gonna say Himawari is going to get the pin on Chika Nanas. So I'm going with
Hmm.
Team Bumping Gritters getting the win here. Andy Header, let's say you. Who do you think takes this one?
I I don't know if I've ever seen Yuri before. Her picture here looks pretty cool. So
There
have I?
is a match. I believe she wrestled. It's a Gambari Pro show. It's on Wrestle Universe. I'll get you the date. She
Okay.
wrestled Shoko Nakajima, and then she
Mm.
either did or is wrestling Utami Hayashishita and it's on
Ooh.
Wrestle
Wow.
Universe. So
Nice.
she's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
considering we watch a lot of really good Joshi wrestlers,
Yeah.
she fits in really well. But yeah, I'll get those dates for you. But yeah, wrestling Shoko and Utami, yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So I'm gonna say I'm leaning more towards the team of Yuri, Kira, and Wakana. I think Wakana's gonna get the pin here because it seems like they're putting a little bit of steam behind Wakana. Maybe set her up for an international princess title shot. So I'm gonna go with Team Wakana here.
And he had another return Tokyo Joshi Pro, Mei Saruga. Massive fan of Mei Saruga. She's
Hmm.
teaming with, again, the MVPs, in my opinion, of the Max Heart tournament. Mizuki and Uda Takami, Ice Cream Rabbits, or whatever we were
Ice cream
calling
rabbit.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously May is the apple. So now we have apple ice cream rabbits. There we
Ooh.
go. There we go. They're taking on the team of Pam Harajuku, Raku, and Yuki Aino. I think you're getting a little bit of everything in this match. Obviously, Pam and Raku, they're very underrated wrestlers, but they more lean towards the comedy. Yuki Aino's phenomenal. I mean, she was the
Hmm.
low key MVP, as Andy Zeich did tell us in Texas. By the way, big up to Andy Zeich. New episodes of the Tokyo Joshi Pod drop every single Friday.
Hmm.
Got to make sure I give the love to one Andy Zeich. I'm a big fan of Yuki Aino here. This one is one of the easiest ones for me to predict. I think Saruga, Mizuki, and Uda Takami get the win here with Mei Saruga pinning Raku would be my
Yeah.
guess.
I'm gonna say Mesa gets a pin here too. Probably a Raku or Palm, one of the two. It'll probably be filled with lots of wacky spots with Palm and Raku here. Maybe they'll be Bucky's again. Who knows? But yeah, I'd say Mesa gets the win here.
And you want to talk about a wild tag match? Mihiro Kiro team with Karuka Sakajuki coming back again to take on the team of Kamyu, Yuka Kamafuki, and Andy Header. Cue the music.
Yeah.
Electric Eye. Aja Khan. I'm excited for Kamyu to come out to Electric Eye strutting. You
Yeah,
know what I
with her
mean?
whip. Yeah,
Oh, and the Hampert Plus
yeah.
flowing.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I wonder if back in the day when Rob Halford had hair, he had to use Pert Plus, right?
That was big in the 80s.
It
So
was
I did
big.
during Ring
Go
of
ahead,
Honor.
sir. Go ahead.
I did look it up, and if you have $9.23 in an Amazon account, you too can get per plus 2 for 1 shampoo and conditioner. So it still exists. But I'll buy
Oh
it.
man, Pert
Yeah,
Plus
yeah, I'm gonna buy
presents
some.
Talk
Uh,
Joshi.
yeah,
More Mahiro versus Aja Kong, buddy. I'll let you pick. You go first, buddy. Who do you think is taking this one?
I yeah, I don't know. I think probably Yuki gets Cameo gets the win here. Talk about an odd couple, Aja Kong and Cameo here. But Mahiro and Kakiru, they almost look exactly alike. They did tag on the one show I watched before, and they both wear blue. They both have the same hair almost, so like it's almost like doppelgangers. But I think Cameo and Aja get the win here.
I'm with you on that one, sir. I'm with you on that one, sir. And he had a special singles match. Toga taking on Rio Mizunami. Rio Mizunami getting her jacket for Sendai Girls, and about 4 hours later, she's announced for
Oh, that's
Tokyo
the
Joshi
Joshi
Pro,
Pro.
which is great because Rio Mizunami is a former tag champion with this company. She won the Princess Cup a few years ago and then would challenge unsuccessfully against Miyu Watanabe. Massive fan of Rio Mizunami. I think her and Toga are going to have my style match. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be
Hmm.
right up my alley, but I think Rio Mizunami is going to get the win here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you with everything you said. This slugfest gonna be a little bit more, a little bit more smash mouth match, but I think Ryu gets the winner.
Probably the other than the main event, probably the match I'm looking forward to the most, as we have
Hmm.
Karaku Kome, Hyper Misao, and Shoko Nakajima. By the way, I love this new render with Shoko. I think she looks great with the long hair and that new
Yeah,
gear
and
she
then
debuted in
doing
Texas.
that, yeah,
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 I think she
I
looks
agree.
really good. It looks like she's about to give you a shout out, Andy Header. Look at
Yeah, how about that? Yeah,
that. Taking on, I guess, Kick Slash plus, a lot of
kick.
plus here. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Would it still kick slash? Like still be kick slash or yeah, kick slash ninja edition? I don't know what you would call it here.
yeah, Champions Edition. Kick
Yeah, there
Slash
you go.
Champions Edition, like Street Fighter 2. Sakura Hattori and Miyu Yamashita. This is a tough one for me to call. If this was if this was Marigold or Stardom, I would say time limit draw. But I don't know since we've been watching Tokyo Joshi Pro if we've ever
I
really
don't think they.
seen many time
No, they
limit
don't do
draws.
much.
You know what, Andy Header? I'm going to cop out here. I'm going to give it the wimp answer. I'm going to say time limit draw on this one.
Oh wow, I'm trying to think. Maybe we've seen one in Tokyo Joshi Pro, but I can't really remember. I I'm leaning a little just because she has been undefeated, Sakura Hattori. I think her and Miyu get the win here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Karako Kime gets the win here. But yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Miyu, the former Kick Slash, Miyu and Sakura.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. Because then maybe that's a. This might be a number. Oh, you know what? If Miyu and Hattori win here, maybe then they challenge for the tag titles because Karako Kome just
Yep.
challenged
Yeah.
in Vegas. Not that I would be against Hyper and Shoko
Again.
challenging
Yeah.
all the time. I wouldn't say no to that. Andy had this match. I mean, I was a little excited for it because Suzume and Haro, but again, Haro in that tag match, I was like, wowzers, completely
Hmm.
blew it out of the water. Haro Kazushino as will be challenging Suzume. Suzume, this will be her V2, obviously her V1 again was in Vegas against Satori. Again, I think Haru's going to have a great showing here. I think Suzume is going to go out of her way to make sure Haru looks great. I think Haru, this is the biggest match of her career, and I think she's fully
Hmm.
aware here. But Suzume is going to win. I think this is an easy one for me to predict.
Yeah, Suzume has a successful title defense. I'm agreeing, sir. But yeah, Haru's gonna do real good, and it's gonna be a good platform for her. But yeah, Suzume ultimately leads with the belt.
We go to semi-main event Princess Tag Championships as Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee, the inspiration, taking on Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi. I'm excited to see how Miyu is going to react to all the funny stuff that Jessie and Cassie are going to do because I think she's going to react really well. I wouldn't be shocked if we have like a sing-off in the middle of this match
Maybe our dance off.
or something like that. I think this will be fun. The inspiration stuff has been fun, but we know it was going to be short lived, and I think this is kind of where I think they could parachute them in from time to time for some
Hmm.
fun stuff. But I think it's time to take the belts off them, and I think Daydream is the way to go. I think Daydream pick up the win here, and we see new tag champs.
Yeah, I'm agreeing, sir. Maybe they could squeak out one more defense and then get another match and then lose them. But then who do you lose them to? Who better unless it's Mizuki and Yuta? But who better to lose them to than your former world champion here in Miyu Watanabe? So yeah, I think Daydream gonna win the tag titles here.
Main event time, and this is going to be great. Arisa Endo. I mean, you want to talk about somebody that's been great for since we started watching Tokyo Joshi Pro, and somebody's stock that went up way up during Grand Princess, even in a loss with that great match with her and Miyu Yamashita versus Spark Rush. I think this is great. This is smart booking, striking while the iron is hot.
Hmm.
Arisa Endo again was in my opinion, with the exception of Yuki Arai, because Yuki won the belt, the MVP of Grand Princess, and they put them together in the main event. Again, this is a rematch from the semifinals of the Princess of Princess Cup last year, where Arisa Endo did come out the winner. Yuki Arai, she is just starting this championship run. I say Yuki Arai gets the win here. And what's going to be interesting is we're going to see Yuki Arai, how well is she going to draw as champion in Cork Hall? We made mention the last three champions were all massive stars. Miyu
Hmm.
Watanabe, Miyu Mashita, and Mizuki. We made mention we did our review with Andy Zyke from the Tokyo Joshi Pod. New episodes drop every Friday. That's me interesting. How is Yuki going to draw coming after Miyu Watanabe, who was white hot? This is going to be a great outlier. So I know it's going to be a great match. Yuki Rai had a great match with J Rod in Las Vegas. This is going to be terrific. I say Yuki Rai retains. And again, we're going to see how she's going to draw as champion against another main eventer here in Tokyo Joshi Pro against one Arisu Endo.
Yeah, I would say Yuki. They could flip the belt here, but no one really likes too much flipping the belt unless they're gonna have a storyline which the belt gets flipped and then gets maybe ultimately back to Miyu Watanabe. But yeah, I think Yuki keeps the belt here. Match will be really good. Probably gonna come a couple close near falls, but it looks like Arisa's gonna win. But I think Yuki ultimately leaves with the title belt here too. So I don't see any of the singles titles changing hands here. And I think Yuki's probably gonna get like 3 or 4 defenses at least before she does drop it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm really excited for that show. But Andy Header, again, we
Let's
have
talk
something
about
to
a
look forward
show.
to on Tuesday,
Yeah.
buddy. We have something to look forward on Tuesday. Let's go to the marvelous 10th anniversary show in the Yokohama Buntai. I did check the tickets; all but two sections are sold out. So I don't
Wow.
know how they're
Good for them.
scaling this. This is the same venue that Stardom did run the second All Star Grand Queendom. That's the one where
Oh.
they had Sari versus Mayu. That's the one that had Micah versus Momo and the 2 out of 3 falls match, and Soriano defending the white belt against Han. And so this building, I think, was specifically built. I could have this wrong. I don't think I do. Was built for the 2020 Olympics, which
Wow.
obviously they had to wait until 2021 because of
Yeah.
COVID. So again, I don't know how this is scaled. I think starting to 2,700. in this building, if they do 18, 1900, I think this is a huge, huge get for
Hmm.
Marvelous. So the full card is announced, and they actually even gave us what matches first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So I'm gonna go through all that. First match, Andy Header. Again, Marvelous, they don't run a lot of men's matches,
No.
but since we've been covering Marvelous, these two are, in my opinion, the two best in Marvelous. We have Starboy
Yeah.
Charlie, who is the actually the WWID champion, taking
Mm.
on Titus Alexander in the opening match. This is gonna be great. I always say you want to start your match out with a hot opener. This is gonna be a hot opener, but I think this might be Starboy Charlie's final match in Japan until he goes to WWE kind of full time. So I'm gonna say Titus Alexander gets the win here.
Yeah, I would think so. We did see they had that great triangle match, the triple threat match with Yosuke Santa Maria and these two. Starboy looked really good. I was like, it's only a matter of time for some of the states to see some. Same with Titus. If one of the bigger New Japan doesn't sign him, you'd think he'd probably come to the states at some point. But yeah, I think Titus gets the win here.
Indiana, I'm not seeing on here second match. I see third match, fourth
Is
match.
it the 8-man tag?
That's a okay. I have a fifth match, 8-man tag with
Okay. Then there's
yeah,
a
I'm not,
6-man
no,
tag. There's Miyu and May, Sanka and Miyu,
yeah,
Magenta and Nyla. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I got 8 on my thing here.
yeah. I'm not seeing match two. I'm not
Hmm.
seeing it goes right to match three. So I'm gonna go to match three. If I'm missing something, let me know. But do you
Yeah.
have on your slate there? And I apologize, folks. Do you have a match two?
No, I don't have a match. Oh wait, let's see here. Yeah, it goes one, three, four, five, six, seven. So maybe it's a special attraction match. Match two random people. Maybe like mystery vortex match.
Folks, let us know. I mean, when we drop this, let us know. And myself and Andy had, I'll do a quick little TikTok video of our predictions. So I'm going to go to match number three. Maybe the match I'm looking forward to, maybe the second most.
Mm-hmm.
Tokyo Joshi Pro, Miyu Mashita versus Senka Akatsuki. Wowzers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Chigusa Nagao. This is a tough one to predict. Maybe the hardest. Chigusa is very big on protecting Senka. Senka was the first person to pin Aja Kong in a
Wow.
singles match in like 4 years in Vegas. Like when she beat her, I think they said like
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 years. But Miyu Yamashita is a big, big star and the biggest star really over the last handful of years for Tokyo Joshi Pro. I'm going to say because the hometown advantage, it's going to be Senka. And then maybe they run this back in Tokyo Joshi Pro and Miyu gets the win back.
Okay,
That
I
might
can see
be the deal.
that.
So I'm going to say Senka gets the win here, but I'm betting $0 on it, other than it being
Yeah.
a great match.
Yeah. This will be really good. They talk about hard hitting in your face style here with Miyu versus Sanka. I like I'm kind of leaning more towards Miyu, but yeah, I can see Sanka win. I think I'll let me be different. I'll just say Miyu.
Okay, yeah, there we go to be different. Now, match number four, it doesn't give us the actual names here, but we do have Chigusa Nagao, looks like teaming with Ai Hozan, taking on Aja Kong, teaming with Sora. And it looks like there's
Hmm.
somebody else there. But we do this is really cool because you have
Yeah.
Chigusa Nagao, one of the biggest draws in Joshi in the 80s and early 90s, versus Aja Kong, when basically
Yeah.
when she retired, then Aja kind of took over. So that's really cool. I'm going to say Team Chigusa Nagao takes this one, Andy Header.
I gotta think so too, just because not just it's her show, but you think that they want the good guys to win here. So yeah, let's say her team wins.
Yeah, Chigusa. It's really cool seeing her wrestle from time to time. And then we have this
Hmm.
the fifth match, this hardcore match. Masa Slamovich teaming with Queen Aminata, teaming with Jesse Jackson, teaming with Johnny Robbie. Johnny Robbie making her return back to Marvelous. She did kind of hint to me when I interviewed her in Vegas that she might be there for a little bit. She
Hmm.
might be there for a little bit. So maybe more Marvelous stuff, maybe something from Marigold. We shall see. They're taking on a team that does have Rina Yamashita and Venny. My guess, Andy Header, is that the Joshis are going to win over the what's the word I'm looking for? The Gaijings. But it's been really
Yeah.
cool to see Venny and Masha Slamovich get back at it. Queen Aminata, she's terrific. And Johnny Robbie, again, one of the MVPs in Las Vegas. It's a hardcore match, so you're going to see all sorts of crazy stuff. And Rina Yamasha's in this. Rina Yamasha
Hmm.
had two hardcore matches these past 10 days. Obviously, we talked about the one in Stardom. I'm assuming you didn't see her death match in Las Vegas, Andy Header.
No, no, but I would like to. I'm not a deathmatch guy, but I'd watch it.
The one in Stardom, that was tame compared to this. It was
Really?
she was in
Wow.
it, Nick Gage was in it, Jun Kasai was in it. Yeah, there was scissors used,
Oh wow.
panes of glass.
Jeez.
Yeah, I had to put my head down a couple times, and Amber walked by, and I'm like, you don't want to see.
You said
I
don't.
don't think it's going to get that violent, but I'm going to say it's hardcore match. I think Rina Yamashi is going to get the pin here, but it's going to be really
Wow.
cool seeing Queen Amanada, obviously Johnny Robbie, on this show.
Yeah, definitely. And on the Joshi team, it's a Chika Mayabi, and I believe that's Chikayo there.
You're right. Yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
yeah. I know it's. I can read that that's Chikaya, or that's Ichika, but my kanji, I still have trouble reading a little bit there. But yeah, I'm gonna say Team Joshi wins here. But yeah, this one's probably gonna be real wild here, and it's probably gonna be Rina putting Masha through some type of table or chairs or maybe even glass. Who knows, something like that for the finish.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Or it might just be like kind of a more tame hardcore match where they use like a table and then like maybe Legos. I mean, I don't know. Who
Yeah.
knows? We'll find out. Andy, after this now, I mean, again, this show looks really stacked, but from match 6 to the finals looks crazy.
Hmm.
Miyamoto taking on May Sarah. Now, May Sarah was actually a graduate of the Marvelous Dojo.
Oh, I know that.
So May Sarah coming back to take on Mia Momoto. Again, another really tough one to predict. May Sarah obviously is a big star, and her star is obviously constantly growing for the biggest company in the world in Stardom. This is going to be great. I'm going to say Mia Momoto gets the win here, but again, very much like the Sanka Mia Mashita match, flip a coin.
Yeah, it could go either way here. This match would be great. You want to talk about high speed wrestling? You're gonna get it right here. This should be awesome. And Mio Momoto not only pulling double duty match back to back, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So yeah, I think Mio's gonna win this one and maybe lose the next one. That's where I'm going.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, we've been on shows before. We've done more than one match. Sometimes, if you're like match one, the match 6 or 7, your body cools down. So I
Yeah,
would rather kind of maybe go back to back or be match one, the match 3 or 4. So this obviously is going to. I mean, Miyamoto is just the next level wrestler. So again, we go to the very next match, match 7 or 6. Again, yeah, there's one match kind of missing
yeah,
from this graphic. Miyamoto and Azuki Aoki taking on in a retirement match Rin Katakor and then returning Mayu Utani. Mayu's been
yeah.
out for the last month or so with a fracture in her foot. So it looks like I guess she's back. We haven't heard anything otherwise. And it is Rin's retirement match. I think Mayu will do what she needs to do here.
Yeah.
I think Rin's going to do the favors here. I think it's going to be Mio getting 2 wins in a row.
Oh
But it's
wow.
going to be really cool seeing Miyamoto and Mayu on opposite ends. I know they were in opposite ends of a tag match in Marigold back in the fall of last year. The internet went crazy because Miyamoto did tell Mayu, I'm coming for that championship. And that was the end of it, Andy. Had it was like
And I
six
got
months
yeah.
ago. We never heard from it. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a match they need to book, but I'm going to say Miyamoto gets the win here. And then maybe she either challenges Mayu for either the GHC championship or the Superfly championship. Because you
Mm,
do remember Stardom, excuse me, Marigold they do have a pay-per-view at the end of the month.
this is
You can
true.
set something up here. And who wouldn't want to see Miyamoto versus Mayu?
Yeah, sign me up. I'm actually thinking that because I said Mios wins the first match, loses the second one. I think that Mayu pins Miu here. Mio, sorry, excuse me. And then that sets up the match somehow where she's like, I one more chance and I'm coming after the title. I'm going to beat you this third time here or second time here. So yeah, I think Mayu and Ren will get the win here.
And he had speaking of tag team matches, semifinal
Hmm.
tag team championships on the line. Magenta, Riku Kawahara, and Maria take on Nightshade and your friend Nyla Rose.
Hmm.
Andy had her, no pressure. But maybe
Yeah,
next week you can get a quote from Nyla Rose about
I'll
either
try
before the
it.
match or after the match. Just,
Yeah.
hey, what do you think? Maybe a little, we don't need any insider information. Maybe just a little Andy Header exclusive. So no pressure on you giving us a review of King of Coliseum and something from Nyla Rose. So
Yeah.
he's
You know,
he's
worth
on
a shot.
assignment.
Like you said, you're never asking to say no. I know you got to go through AEW, but maybe just a little, little something here and there. Don't
Yeah,
ask for much.
obviously
Yeah,
we'd
yeah,
like to
yeah,
interview her, but
yeah,
maybe you just say, "Hey, what do you think about this match?" Or what do you just like a quote or two? We don't need
yeah.
the
Something.
Great Gatsby quoted to us,
No,
but
no, no, nothing here. As much as I'd like to see Nyla and Nightshade win them, hey, what a great tag team that even on paper that looks. I think Magenta is going to keep it here, but it should be really good.
Indie Hitter. Now we go to the main event. AAW Championship is on the line. Spark Rush explodes as we have
Hmm.
Suri and Takumi Iroha. We're gonna watch 2 great shows Monday and Tuesday. This is the hardest to predict. And I'm gonna pull a heel card here. Andy Header,
Oh,
you tell me first. Who do you think is going to win this match?
oh, I, I don't know here. You know, maybe it's gonna be awesome. I think I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Takumi, only because she is officially Marigold, Marvelous, whereas Sari is independent, even though Sari wrestles in almost every Marvelous show. I think Takumi might win here, but I think are you gonna give the old the TLD, the time limit draw here? Is that where you're going?
Not in the main event. Here's the way
Not
that
even.
I'm thinking, and I could see Takumi winning because she is marvelous. She literally left Stardom to be Chigusa Nagao's ace in Marvelous. This is probably the biggest show in company history. It's on pay per view. It's on a streaming service. It's in a big building. It may do around 2,000 people. You're going to want to be able to capitalize on this moving forward to make Marvelous a bigger company. What better way to do that than have Suri win? My guess is Suri's going to get the win here, and then they maybe run it back in 2 or 3 months in a Korakuen, and Takumi
Mm,
gets the win back. Again, that's my logic. Can Takumi win this? Sure. Would it make sense? Absolutely. But I'm going to say Suri wins here. If you remember when 2 years ago, Suri was seedling champion and she was Marigold champion. And then after she dropped those belts, she won the IWGP Joshi. So she can go in between worlds. And who's not to say she doesn't defend this belt at a Tokyo Joshi Pro, at
yeah.
a Stardom, at somewhere like that. So you got Tokyo Joshi Pro talent on this card. You have Stardom talent on this card. So who's not to say Suri, who wrestles everywhere, defends that belt in different companies before maybe dropping it back to Takumi Roha? Who knows?
Mm,
Who knows? But I'm going to say Suri gets the win here. But tough one to call. But man, I'm really looking forward to these shows coming up at the
yeah.
start of Golden Week in Japan, my friend.
Yeah, what better to start the Golden Week than two golden shows here? Both of these shows are gonna be really good.
Andy Header, that'll wrap it up. And I knew this was about 2 hours, about 2 hours and 20 minutes, my
A little long.
friend. Yeah, well, we know it was going to be, but great, great stuff. Andy Header, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, buddy, you ready to plug your stuff and call this one a show, buddy?
I think we covered almost all there is to cover. We had a lot to cover, and I think we did pretty good. So if you want to get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram, just type my name and hit her. Will come right up on Blue Sky. I'm H24, and at Twitter, X, whatever you'd like to call it, I am at Get Some Header, pun intended.
Folks, questions, comments, suggestions, anything you need from me, Matt Turner OF on the Instagram, the Twitter is the easiest, fastest, and best way to get a hold of me. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. I am releasing all of my unedited interviews when I was over in Japan for Marigold. I just released the one with Koki Amare. And by unedited, I mean there's no subtitles. So, but it was still really
Yeah.
cool and still getting really good reaction. So Matt Turner OF over there as well. Or you can shoot me an email, matt@worldofjoshi.com or the Stardom Cast 22
22.
at gmail.com. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for a mammoth episode of Talk Joshi as we review JoshiMania. Check us back here next week as we do our review of Yes Wonderland and the Yokohama Buntai show for Marvelous 10th anniversary. We greatly appreciate your support. Can't do without you. Like I always say, just not my podcast. It's our podcast because when we're all together and everybody's different, everybody's special.